Да. Хорошо. Понятно, товарищ председатель.
I've done as you ask. Be careful, Mr. President. I think he is drunk.
Hello? Hello, Dimitri. Listen, I can't hear too well. Do you suppose you could turn the music down just a little? Oh, that's much better. Yes. Fine, I can hear you now, Dimitri. Clear and plain and coming through fine. I'm coming through fine too, eh? Good, then... Well, then, as you say, we're both coming through fine. Good. Well, it's good that you're fine, and I'm fine. I agree with you. It's great to be fine. Now then, Dimitri, you know how we've always talked about the possibility of something going wrong with the bomb. The bomb, Dimitri. The hydrogen bomb.
Well, when the clock stops, that's when Ron and Fez start. It is the Ron and Fez show. Hanging out with you for the next 3 minutes. It's Friday, and we will be starting a 3-day weekend because we celebrate President Obama Day on Monday. So for now on, every Monday, once a year, we will celebrate President Obama during February.
Things are getting better already.
They really are. So it'll be now. Does everybody get this holiday off? Is it what you call a banker's holiday?
Yeah, this is a federal holiday. The banks will be closed. You know, any government agency.
I'm going to age myself a bit here, and I remember Washington's birthday and Lincoln's birthday when that was the thing before they just added all the presidents. At one point, we just celebrated the presidents that impressed us, and you would put on a gray wig at school for Washington's Day, and then the fake black beard for Lincoln's birthday.
I always like making the stove pipette.
You would make that out of crepe paper, which you don't get to see as an adult. And I don't even know why it was called that, crepe paper.
Yeah, I have no idea why it was called that.
Or we would call it construction paper. And again, you don't use those words as an adult. You never say, get me some construction paper, safety scissors, and a paste. But as a child, you lived and died on those three products. You had to have them at all times. And safety scissors, very difficult to cut with. I know it's good that you can't cut your finger. You also couldn't cut paper with it.
Oh, they were awful.
It's Friday with the Ron and Fez show. We will have Vernon Reed stopping in later on today. He's going to talk about the swell of the Obama stuff, and he's got a big show out. He's just as caught up as you, Earl.
Oh yeah, if not even more so. He's really in the Obama mania.
I will tell you this, and I, unlike you guys, I've not thrown my vote in behind Barack Obama, but I am fascinated as we go through each primary, each state. I get more and more fascinated with the excitement level around Barack Obama. And I do not recall this at any point in my life leading up to this. I've never seen excitement. Now I know this has got to be the toughest thing in the world for Bill Clinton to deal with. I can't even look at Bill Clinton now because I just see old lion, and it makes me almost feel sad that there's a new kid in town taking over. So Vernon Reed, very very popular. Rock and roll guitar player. Where is he ranked? They did that rank of guitar players.
He was number 66.
Really?
Yeah. All time, according to...
Wow.
I didn't know that they ranked that low. But I guess out of all the people that have ever played guitar, 66. I've seen Vernon play guitar before live, and he's a phenomenal guitar player. He really is. Now, Fez... Don't say anything inappropriate when Vernon's here.
I will do my best, yes. I won't say anything inappropriate.
I'll do this little thing with you. If you say something that's inappropriately racist,
okay,
I'll just say that's so 70s. And you will know from that point on to shut your big racist pie hole.
Well, yeah, you won't have to say it, because don't worry, I'm not an animal. I know what You know what? I'm sensitive.
I'm going to say this. I hope not to say it, but I will say it if I have to.
All right, if you have to, you have to.
Or I'll just yell, Vernon, don't listen to him. He's gay and doesn't even recognize it.
Let's go with the 70s thing,
do me
then.
a favor and don't make me cringe.
All right. I will do that. You can count on me.
I'm watching a man unravel, aren't I? It is the strangest thing to have front row seats for. I'm looking at you and you're bald headed, and I see the disconnect in the eyes. That is a frightening thing to see. I feel like I'm making. I'm in studio. I'm doing Wish You Were Here, and a bald man with no eyebrows has sat down in front of me that I don't recognize as being a former bandmate and best friend.
Yeah, the bald head is not working for me this time. And for some reason, despite the weather outside, this is one sweaty, shiny bald head.
Again, to show the disconnect, the bald head isn't what scares me.
Oh.
What scares me is what's happening with you lately.
Yeah, I've talked to my therapist. I think I am going to go ahead and move on and get a new therapist.
For the first time ever, I got talked to by XM over it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's not good.
As being, this isn't the show we bought anymore.
Oh, that hurts.
I didn't want to bring it up that way to hurt you, but just let you know that there's now an awareness on a corporate level that there wasn't before.
Ticking time bomb.
Good for you, though. They're blaming Dave like a lot of the board members.
What?
And it is something that's interesting that they would have the same complaints as some of the people from some of the boards.
Oh, why is that? I mean, I'm just trying to help. I try to help Fez with his problems.
That's what they don't like. They feel like you're not helping, you're overshadowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Causing
Right.
problems with Fez. No, I don't agree with that.
Well, I think that they believe that you're bringing out some of his, is timidity a word?
Yeah, that's a word.
All right. Some of his timidity, that now I disagree with that. Mm-hmm. And I also said I do disagree. And I said for Fez to, it's like being in a basketball game. You shoot, guys that want to shoot will shoot the ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? And guys that want to dish will dish so much that they dish when they're open. You know what I mean? There's only a few out there, me and John Stockton, who know the time to dish or shoot.
Right.
And we will do both effectively.
You don't want to be BJ Armstrong, an overdisher.
No, exactly. You never want to do that. And how many times have we been on a court before where you're saying to guys, hey, man, you were open. Why are you forcing a pass? Because you're afraid to shoot?
Right. It's like when Rodman would get the ball 15 feet away from the hoop. You knew he was not going to shoot
First of all, he doesn't even want to fucking put the ball on the floor.
Just like
he doesn't even like to dribble. He would.
He just like the glass, baby. Should have been a window washer.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Well, that's not going to pay as much.
What?
The window washer.
No, to window wash is a slang term that means he likes to take the ball off the glass.
Oh,
Not to actually go out and wash windows.
Lots of rebounds.
Disconnect.
Yes, there is a disconnect from reality.
I agree with it.
But I do wonder what goes on in there. What goes on in that snow globe that you call brain? I'm so curious.
It is like a snow globe with every little flake being another thought that's just swirling around,
What are you thinking about?
Well, now I'm thinking about that XM had that talk with you. But...
Well, it was 2 nights ago.
Oh, okay.
When you were at your therapist.
Oh,
and it wasn't just XM, it was our buddy, but, it's a good thing. People are saying it in a nice way, but they're saying it's not the same show. And I go, well, how do you if you listen to me talk, you'll hear me say the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I actually got blamed on the Fear Factor thing, too.
Really?
Yeah.
See, now that I don't like, and I disagree with it. I disagreed with it the day Dave brought it up, and I don't like that.
But maybe it's out there for a reason.
I think we have to always get the cards on the table, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't trying to say anything. I was primarily speaking about the staff, not Fez, but...
You said Fez.
Okay,
yeah,
you're
you
right.
brought it up.
You're right.
And you're the one who says, oh, that's why he went in the booth, which I didn't know that you were told to get out of that booth. I didn't know that was a directive.
You know what? That came up after I had already decided I was coming out of the booth.
Well, I heard it was a directive, which made me feel embarrassed. Yeah. And I heard that you're, somewhat timid about coming back to me with news, or when I want something, you go there and you're like, Ron wants this! Let Ron have what he wants! I don't want to go back and tell him no! And I'm like, well, I don't think it's like that. I just said,
It's
I don't
not like that.
I just don't like to talk to any of the rest of you people in suits.
Right. And that's the true thing, too. That Fez is going to get better.
But the fact that you're talking now, instead of it being me and Fez talking,
Correct.
goes to show.
Yeah.
You're keeping him from getting better.
Okay.
You're like the nurse that you're taking care of mommy, but all of a sudden now you're teaching the kids new dances, and you're, starting to spend more time with the husband.
Oh, I see.
And
right.
you don't want her to get better.
No, I do.
You want to be the mommy and the wife.
You were going to call me the mom from The Sixth Sense. It's just poisoning the child.
When Vernon comes in here, Earl, and I know you and him are good friends.
Very good friends, yes.
Yeah, I don't want you to say a word.
Not a peep?
No.
One word.
No, you know what? I want you to talk the whole time. I want you to think, when I have something substantial to say, I'll jump in. But if I don't, I'll sit here and wonder why I work in radio. Would you do that for me?
Yes, I will do that.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
He was thinking about eating peeps.
See?
Not saying
That's where
anything.
Fez should have said something. That should have been Fez's line.
All right.
Fez would have done the joke about Peeps. I'm starving for Peeps.
Oh,
Well, it's almost that time of year with Easter.
I don't eat Peeps at Easter.
true. Easter is coming so early this year. It's like a week after, it seems like St. Patty's Day. What's that all about? I mean,
First of all, my problem with Easter is it doesn't happen on a certain day. Just flies in whatever it wants to. What other holidays that we have where it can just pop around anytime it wants to?
I don't think we have any other floaters like that.
Well, President's Day, the fact that they made it President's Day.
Thanksgiving.
Used to, like I said, when Washington's birthday was a holiday, you would just have off on a Wednesday, and there was nothing you could do about it. And people were like, I can't go away on a Wednesday.
Right.
Give me a 3-day holiday.
Thanksgiving they did change up, where it was the last Thursday in November. Now it's the third Thursday in November.
And you know why they did that?
No, why?
Extra week of Christmas shopping. All right, this always gets to me, too. All right, you're supposed to be have Christmas spirit the day after Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Right.
5 weeks out. How come you're not supposed to have Christmas spirit 5 weeks away on the other side from Christmas?
Well, the excitement's over. The big event just happened.
But you're supposed to have it that week. Like the 30th, you're still supposed to feel Christmassy.
Yeah.
New Year's Day, you're supposed to feel Christmassy.
Right.
So it does last after.
Yeah, I mean, it's like January 2nd's the official cutoff. I guess if we didn't have New Year's Day, then it would just be, I think, Christmas, and then December 26th, things would go back to normal.
I don't think so, because you're expected to do Christmas visiting that entire week. It has nothing to do with New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, you only think about on New Year's Eve. I mean, you have to have plans, yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have like, oh, I've got a New Year's feeling coming up. I hate the fact that you're supposed to have a feeling for any holiday. I don't sit around, I'm starting to get that Arbor Day feeling.
Maybe is there a 4th of July feeling?
We're supposed to feel patriotic that day.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But 4th of July does play very nostalgic for me. That I remember, being at the beach and fireworks when I was a kid, or being at ball games. So every year when 4th of July comes around, I do have memories of being a kid. I really think it's the only time you really like fireworks, when you're a little kid.
Mm-hmm. 4th of July is great. I think that's such an underrated holiday in general.
Not for me. It's my favorite.
It's in the summertime.
Well, first of all, what are you going to do? You're going to go to a baseball game, you're going to go to the beach, or you're going to be at a swimming pool. 3 easy-going things that really don't require any pressure.
Right. Mix in with a little wiffle ball, maybe. Backyard games in general.
Yeah. Well, a picnic.
Oh.
Well, the nice thing is no gifts there.
You don't show up with fireworks for your relatives? Yeah. I stopped and got you some cherry bumps.
The fireworks they do on 4th of July and New Year's now. That's a whole new fireworks holiday.
Yeah.
Where people are lighting stuff off at midnight.
See, I come from Philadelphia where we had shooters and mummers, so I'm used to that. I'm used to guns on New Year's Eve, that you would shoot a shotgun off or a pistol. But now people are, you're afraid of guns, so people do fireworks. But yeah, I remember my whole street blasting up when I was younger.
I loved when we would shoot fireworks in our backyard and the cops would always come. And I think that happened with a lot of people growing up. And the cops would never make a problem for you. They would just be like, it's 4th of July, just do it quickly.
You know what I really do think started the... what did I do with that Coke? Did I leave that in the office? Graz, he doesn't take as much good care of me as he liked to before. Before he would have the Coke and the ice. He would make everything so nice for me. And now today, he just tried to hand me a bottle. And I'm like, Graz, I like it the other way. Well, the Coke and ice, maybe even a little cheese plate and crackers might be a nice way to go with
It
it.
should always be Ogilvy in Bad News Bears who made the cocktails for Walter Matthau by the pool.
I used to do that for my grandmother. I'd set and mix for her.
But they let me make scotch and Dewars and soda for my grandmom.
Yeah, it was always fun, like to act like you're a bartender.
Well,
and I remember I'd take the towel and just put it over my arm, like I was just always exhausted. Yeah, I'll be getting out of here soon. I'd be like 5, 6 years old. I'm just cutting limes, sitting there at her little 1 foot. There's Graz making me a nice, lovely little. Thank you.
Now he's tilting the can, but not the cup. You got to tilt both.
Yeah, he's not much of a tilter.
No.
And his other problem is you hear that he's just a big breather next to me. And I always have a problem with that. Do you know what other person comes in here does monster breathing when they're not talking?
No, who?
Lately?
Who?
Nobody else has picked up on it?
I'll say Pitts.
No.
Z-Man.
Earl's the only one with the producer's ear. Z-Man will do a lot of heavy breathing while
Yeah.
we're talking on the air. And there's certain people who do that.
I never even noticed that he was taking.
That's a disconnect. You have a certain disconnect. Now, the old Fez Whatley would have been right on that.
That's true. I would have totally heard that. And it would have been something that, totally annoyed me until I figured out the source of it.
What's happened with you, brother?
I'm just nuts.
Do you really think you are?
Yeah, I think I am.
You used to act like you were just going through a thing, but now you've surrendered to it?
It just feels that way. I mean, I know I haven't done everything that, would help myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like just falling into that is just, the surrendering to just being insane.
I didn't even understand that statement. Did anybody?
No. Surrendering to the insane.
Do you, but is it insane? Is it not just like, nervous? It's gone from nervous. Do you literally think you're crazy now?
I have the past few times, that I've been at the therapist, I have just asked about insanity. Every time. I've brought it up in roundabout ways and stuff, just because it's like, it feels like it's weighed on me.
What does? Weight on you?
Yeah.
Insane weight?
Right.
But I think there's a giant difference between having panic problems and nervous problems and being insane. I don't even think they're connected, brother.
See, it feels like they're connected for me.
Do you want them to be connected?
I don't want them to be connected.
Uh-huh. I honestly don't think they are. I don't think that you can go from having panic attacks to being insane.
I think, if anything, panic attacks might be a symptom that you're very sane. Because you're just worried things are happening.
Right.
I don't think insane people, in other words, get panic attacks. You don't see like a crazy guy on the corner in New York City, getting all nervous. He's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, and they never really worry about being crazy.
Right.
They think
That's why-
I'm the only sane person in a crazy world.
I feel like I've driven myself crazy.
Is it me doing that to you?
Oh, no, it is all me.
Because now that Wiki has put it out there, and of course Dave, I'm kind of paranoid about it.
No, trust me, it is all me.
Would you be willing to sign some papers that state that? That I'm going to have my lawyer draw up?
I will sign whatever you want and with my therapist as a witness.
Well, what makes you feel like you're insane?
Because it's the fact that it's 24 hours a day.
What is?
The nervousness.
Yeah.
And that feels like something a crazy person would have.
Right. Do you know specifically what you're nervous about?
Everything.
You now think of the world as a plane that is taking off. Planet Earth is a plane that is now flying, and you are in a middle seat. You're not on the aisle, and you're not on the window.
That's exactly how I explained it to the therapist last week.
As what?
As when I would be so bad flying, and I'd get so nervous getting on a plane, and I couldn't calm down. That's the feeling. And it's 24 hours.
Well, it's Friday. Why don't we just get drunk after the show? I mean, you're not nervous when you drink.
No, that's true. Yeah.
But you
can't walk around drunk all the time.
Oh.
That would be crazy, too.
Why not? My grandfather did it, and he had a hell of a life.
Jim Morrison.
I'm serious.
Right.
If you feel comfortable when you're drinking, why wouldn't that be the way out?
Because then that's just a mess for everybody else.
This is a mess.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
You want a cocktail? Get up in the morning, make yourself a nice stiff drink.
That'd be great.
Woo! It's Charlie Wilson's War. He actually beat the Russians and drank the whole time he was doing it. Have you seen that movie yet?
No, not yet. Supposed to.
You're not really seeing a lot of movies, are you?
I saw the.
Do we have Allison Bales coming in next week, Earl?
Yes, we do.
Okay. What day?
Next Thursday.
Are you all excited that Vernon Reed's coming in?
Very excited.
Are you going to act like you do more things than you do when he sees you here? Be like you're running everything?
Yeah, I'll try to exert a little bit more control, yes.
Yeah, unlike yesterday's show where he walked out on his team and never came back the rest of the show.
That was so bizarre.
Guess where he was, he told me.
Where?
Outside the studio door in the hallway.
Come on.
And I go, you could not have been. And Pitsy's just like, comes to me and goes, he's crazy. He's lying. Pitsy said this, he's as crazy as your partner.
Well,
really?
Fez might have some mental issues, but at least he's honest. That's what I think. Fez has a lot of virtues, and I think honesty is one of them, unlike Earl.
Personally, I don't think anyone's honest. No? I just don't believe in honesty. I just see too much I don't think people set out to lie. I think they lie to themselves.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
The one thing I don't trust is anyone who calls themselves a good person, which you do that.
Right.
And as soon as someone says, I'm a good person, I'm like, who would say that about themselves? What kind of easy judge are you on yourself? All right, Pitsy, come on in here. I want to get an Earl update. What exactly happened with him yesterday that he disappeared? Was he ever right outside your door in the hallway?
No, he was not. He went to make a phone call, and he said, I'll be back in 2 minutes. And he disappeared for almost 50 minutes, Ron, and nobody could find him. I sent 2 interns to find him, and nobody knew where he was.
Now, quite frankly, when you've only got to be here for 3 hours, and you're gone for a third of that time, that's a fireable offense. Most of the things Earl does, he could be fired for.
Well, the Yankees also play for 3 hours a day, and you don't see Derek Jeter just taking 50 minutes off.
If Derek Jeter says, I got to take a piss in the 6th inning, and they never saw him again to the end of that, people were showering.
Right.
He's suspended at the very least. You cannot disappear.
Is that Jeter's car leaving the parking lot?
But I was standing right by the freaking front door.
Were you wearing a Harry Potter invisible cloak?
The front door of what?
The way you walk into XM. I was standing right there.
So you left XM.
I didn't leave
and
XM.
Stood outside the door.
The only time I left was
How is that any different if you would have went down, got a cab, and went and got lunch somewhere? You left the studio. You stayed out of connection with your producers. You vanished.
I didn't vanish. The only time I even left the actual room was to go to the bathroom, which is what I did. And
all right, so you are saying you could still hear the radio show the entire time?
I could faintly hear it because I was standing by the door.
What is by the door? Outside of XM?
Right when you first walk in, that little vestibule.
And you were outside of that?
I was not outside. I was right in front.
You were by Master Po's desk or outside the door?
I was by Master Po's desk.
Now, why would you be there? To make a phone call?
Yes, I was making the phone call.
If he was outside by Master Po's desk and he could hear the radio show, when Ron said, "Where is Earl?" then he would have come in and explained it to him. So you clearly did not hear the radio show.
No, I said I could faintly hear it. And you're forgetting one thing, Dave. I was on the phone.
For 50 minutes?
Not for 50 minutes. I was just trying to get an answer to something. I was making calls.
Was it the answer to anything that Fez or I cared about?
Yes.
Now you're lying. Because I know we didn't okay what you were looking for, nor were we appreciating it, nor was it helpful to us. So that would be a lie. And all I wanted to do was get you in a lie, Earl.
It wasn't lying. I was trying to get an answer to something.
To an answer to a question Fez and I did not want. It was something for you, about you. And that's the truth.
Yep.
And he asked me about it, too, and I said, it's not my deal. I wouldn't have any answer for you because it's not up to me.
What would he ask you, whether we should or not?
No, whether it was taken care of by both of the hosts. And I said, I have no idea because it's not my deal, so how would I know?
You know when we don't okay something immediately, we really don't want it.
Of course.
So when you went and okayed it and didn't not check with either the host, you didn't run it by your executive producer.
I did. I thought I did.
You did not.
It was a bold-faced fucking lie because when I asked you about it, you told me you had approval on it. He would try to work me against Ron, and I hate that more than anything in this life.
And I could back that up because I was standing there, too.
I hate that more than anything. You told me, it was a bold fucking face lie because I asked you, did Ronnie say yes? And you told me he did.
And I wasn't lying.
You knew.
And then I had the conversation with Ron about it. Ron didn't know a fucking thing about it.
Well, I know. Here's what I said. I said, and the only time he asked me about it, and everybody here was sitting in that meeting when Earl brought it up. Do we want this? And everyone knows I'm like, oh. You know, I never pulled the trigger on it.
And Fez asked him in front of us.
Yeah.
And he lied to Fez. Right in Fez's face. And I know if Fez checked up 2-3 times.
Because I'll tell you just as why Fez is screaming and acting, I'll tell you just as calmly as can be, I never gave you the approval on that. And the only time you asked me was in front of all these fucking people. And I didn't say no, but I definitely did not say yes. I said to everybody, you know, what do you think? And if you remember, everyone was just like, oh. Yeah.
That's why I asked him about it, because I knew in that meeting it didn't get okayed. So I had to assume there was something else, there was another conversation that I wasn't privy to.
He's awful quiet now.
Yeah.
No, yeah. What? I don't know what to say. I know
the truth.
I'm not going to say anything.
You can't do that on radio.
I know you can do that. I mean, but obviously I'm wrong. So what am I going to say? I was wrong.
You can't always
but you
be
still
wrong.
got your way.
You can't always be wrong after the fact. You have to be right sometimes before the fact. And also be non-deceitful about it.
What's the difference? It makes zero difference. Now, Fezzy, before, when Wiki said we could get rid of him, at that one point, and you said, let's keep him, and I asked you what was the reason. What was your answer?
My word was friendship.
Is this friendship to you?
It is not friendship to me. Is there any way I can have a do-over?
Time machine.
You're going to have to talk to Wiki about it.
Technology hasn't caught up for a time machine yet.
Of course, Wiki has all these other concerns about you. You might want to keep your distance.
Just stay away from Wiki.
Because he asked me also, and in a nice way, is this executive producer thing too much for Fez?
When things like this happen,
yeah,
I'll say yes. You know,
you want to step down from that?
I don't want to step down from it, but when I get, backstabbed like this.
Well, my problem is this. I don't mind having what you consider yourself a crazy person, right?
Yes.
You think that you're literally mentally insane now?
I feel like I have gone past that line.
I don't mind that in a co-host, but it's really a problem when the executive producer is mentally insane. That's more than I can deal with.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to.
And then the senior producer under the executive producer is like more lying bastard than Nixon.
Do you lie worse than Nixon?
Let's
I
go
don't.
back a way to find a liar big enough to compare.
Earl Milhouse Douglas.
No, I don't lie bigger than Nixon.
Bigger than Cheney?
No.
Rumsfeld?
Not at all.
Do you lie more than any Republican?
No, I don't lie to more than any Republican.
Than all Republicans put together.
Well, later Vernon Reader is going to be in here to talk about abomination. And that's what they're calling it right now, the abomination.
All right.
And it is. It actually is one. But it is the most interesting thing in the world to me right now. There is nothing going on in the country that interests me more than how big these things are coming. And I'm already seeing stuff where they're trying to swift boat him with the gay experience that he allegedly had and the cocaine thing that he had. Have you seen this guy, Earl?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
He's out on the internet, and I guess people are giving him interviews. about, he did blow and whatever with this person. A, to me, it's Swift Boat. And then B, it wouldn't matter to me either way anyway.
You're in your early 20s.
You might as well suck a dick here.
What?
Doesn't mean you can't be president.
Yeah.
Everyone's had experiences. I mean,
I haven't.
No, I mean, gay or anything. I just mean, things happen in people's lives.
Your life.
Yeah.
Why? What was your gay experience?
I wish I could. I had a sword fight with my friend and neighbor Rob.
You guys rubbed dicks
when we were children, right?
By children, mean 17.
About 8.
Did you ever have a gay experience?
Yeah, we played Ookie Cookie, where we all had to jerk off on a cookie, and the last person to come had to eat it.
Now, you were how old?
13.
Now, you were coming at age 13?
Yeah,
That's right on the borderline. I have a feeling that you were probably 15 to play Ookie Cookie.
It was a while ago, so it might have been around there, but it was very wet.
To me, it's very important, whether it's 13 or 15.
Can we say
16?
Can we say 14?
Did anyone have a car?
No cars.
Okay.
But you still wouldn't have a car if you're 15.
Right. So you could have been 14 or 15.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it that.
So you were jacking off on the cookie.
Yeah, like 5 guys in a circle.
What kind of cookie?
Chips Ahoy.
Now, you all jacked off. What were you thinking about?
There was porno on.
Okay, so you're looking at the porno. You're there with these buddies. I imagine you said since you were all great friends, you're still friends with these people.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're jacking off on a cookie.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you were the last person to come, you'd have to eat your friend's cum?
Yes.
And Fez is worried that he's fucking insane.
Yeah, I'm feeling much better about myself now.
So you ate a cum-filled cookie?
No, I was actually like third to come, so I didn't have to eat it.
How many people were in this?
5.
5.
You're not listening to the story?
There's 5 guys jacking up. So your friend ate your cum?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
He took one bite of it, and then that was it for him.
Why the rest of you jacked off again in excitement?
I mean, I thought that was a normal thing that guys just touch themselves around each other when they're growing up.
For rapists.
No, that's a normal. You had a homosexual experience. You definitely did.
All right, yeah. Well, there it is.
And you and your buddies are cool with that to this day.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I still hang out with 3 of the 4.
Do you guys ever get the Ookie Cookie going again?
No, we haven't played in a long time.
Now, does your chick know that you played Ookie Cookie?
No, I don't think so.
I will text message her as soon as we hit break.
Just write Ookie Monster.
I wouldn't mind getting her on the phone and telling her. I really think she should know this before you guys get married. Ookie Cookie is pretty far. That's really pretty far. And I've never even heard of it before.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know who came up with the idea of Ookie Cookie?
It might have been passed down in town from like generation to generation. Somebody's older brother did it.
Where do you live? Gayburg?
I mean, who even breaks the ice with that conversation? We have 1 Chips Ahoy left.
Well, I think it all leads back to the porno on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then kids can't control themselves at that age.
Yeah, I could. I never jacked off with my friends.
Nope. I actually think even watching porn with other guys is a little gay. Even if you're not jacking in it, I think it's just weird. You're all
to be aroused around your buddies.
You're all going to have hard-ons next to each other, and you're
Right.
sitting close on each other and stuff.
Why not have the hard-on doesn't have to last. Now, as long as you have some cookie and some willing participants. Earl, I know you've been on the down low before. You brought that up. I believe it was even with Vernon Reed, wasn't it?
No, it was not, and I've never been on the down low.
The DL, you call it.
They're on the DL.
Which is
no.
dick liquor.
Well, we never did anything remotely as
Even with a woman, you haven't fucking played Ookie Nookie. So that's a crazy fucking story.
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, it's something I'll never forget. I don't know if it's bad memories or good memories, but I'll never forget that.
Well, you don't seem like you're traumatized by it.
No, I just thought it was a thing everybody does. Like, you watch porno with your buddies, and then you just get a little stupid. I didn't think it was anything serious. I mean, that's why I'm not really worked up over it.
No, I obviously, to me, if it ain't serious to you, it ain't serious.
Yeah.
It definitely is, it is what it is, what it is.
What?
I mean, the weirdest thing about this is, out of all the guys on the show, you're always supposed to be the regular Joe, the normal guy from the suburbs. And you're the weirdest, fucking most twisted, strange little town of everyone.
That's true, yeah. As much as I think I'm big man on campus, I do live in a little town. You know, and it is weird because
What do you mean you think you're big man on campus?
Well, because like in town, everybody knows who we are. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's just small town syndrome that everybody knows you.
He thinks
Right.
he's fat man on campus.
All right, you know what? I'm having a real conversation with him. All right? I'm seriously a real fucking conversation.
That's
for
the
a
throwing
change.
me under the bus thing from yesterday.
Yeah, but what's it got to do with anything?
Okay.
It's fucking stupid. But why does that make you the big man that people know
Not
who
big.
you are?
Maybe I used the wrong words.
I
But
mean, you're known as the guy who ate a fucking cum-filled cookie. That's your fuck. That's why people know you. And believe me, if you ate a fucking cum-filled cookie in fucking Bangladesh, everybody would be talking about it, wherever you go. Matter of fact, if they've even found this out, you're Okie Cookie from now on.
Is that my new name?
Sure, you're Okie. I know you. I know it's been a problem for you that you never been known for anything on this show. Now you're Okie Cookie. Now that's what you got going for you.
You're Rookie of the Year.
And hopefully Sleeves will be writing a song about you, and they'll be making an Okie Cookie shirt that looks like you, and you'll never be able to get away with it at all. It'll never switch up.
Well, I'm going to run
Hopefully.
with it. I'm going to run with it as long as it lasts.
Yeah. So this happened with you and your buddies. You did this, and do you ever bring it up to each other now?
I mean, now it's more of a joke that we did it. It's
Remember
really.
when we used to play Okie Cookie?
Was it a one-time deal?
Yeah, we only did it once.
Yeah.
We only did it once. But I guess that we thought we had to do it since like somebody's older brother said they did it too. So I don't think it was like the only time it was done. It's kind of passed down to us.
Mm-hmm. From some older gay boys.
Basically, yes.
'Cause I definitely think it's a gay experience. Does anybody disagree? And
I don't
think
disagree.
it's just frat stuff.
It is.
And that doesn't make it a bad thing. But you're a guy that, you know, you consider yourself like a young Republican. You're not for gay rights. And yet out of all of us, you're the one that had the real gay experience.
Maybe that turned me into the way I am today. That it was so traumatizing, I don't even realize it. That I'm.
But you just said it wasn't
It's
traumatizing.
not. But I'm saying maybe deep down, it affected me
So
somehow.
You don't trust the feelings that you have. You honestly think that maybe you have feelings below the feelings that you have.
Oh, totally. I think about that a lot.
Why?
Just because I want to know if I'm doing the right thing. You know, if what I think is right or the things I do are right. So it kind of comes into my head, what else is going on?
So you don't trust yourself.
In some cases I don't.
Mm-hmm. So you think maybe you were traumatized by your own friends sexually.
Probably, yeah. And I don't even, it's so
And yet you make a
subconscious.
big deal about staying with those people. You're like, I'll never leave my town. I love my buddies more than my own chick. I want to be with the guys I played Okie Cookie with all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the Okie Cookie thing isn't really the bond that we have now, but it is something that we all live together.
But it is part of your bond.
Yeah. It's not spoken
I mean, you
anymore.
have guys, but like going to Vietnam, you're not going to talk about that every day, but that would be with you. And your thing is, I ate a cum-filled cookie with my friends, the Okie Cookie. We are the guys from this small town in Long Island. Very fucking strange, Pitsy.
Yeah, that's us. Okie Cookies.
And you'd never move away from there.
I love it there. I really do.
Sure. Where else are you going to go and get a cum-filled fucking Oreo? You're not going to... You go to San Francisco. I bet you couldn't get a game of fucking Okie Cookie going.
Yeah, I don't think it's known around the nation, to be honest with you. I think it's a regional thing. But I don't know.
I don't even think it's regional. I bet if I went one town over in Long Island, they'd be like, what? It's the sickest fucking thing I've ever heard of.
I think it's one basement.
And you hadn't even been with a woman yet, right?
No.
You guys were eating cum before you even had a chance to go down on a woman. That's how fucking quickly. So first and foremost, you're gay before you even get to anything else. And I don't think, it's somewhat, and normally it doesn't have that age, but, Dave, you said you and your friends were rubbing your penises together.
Yeah, when we were 8 years old, he invited me over to his house, and we went to his bedroom, and we decided to have sword fight. He was Peter Pan, I was Captain Hook.
Here's what I want you to realize, and it's a nice. What it is, it's just child's play, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times we cloud things, all right, and our memories play tricks on us. So literally, I want you to shut your eyes and visualize it as it's happening now.
Okay.
And you and your friend are rubbing your penises against each other. Yeah. And I really want you to think was that your friend or was it your dad?
Okay,
Really?
that's not
Because I
helping.
honestly, the breakthrough
That's
is
not helping.
that was your dad playing tummy sticks with you.
That wasn't helping, and no.
Yeah.
I don't even think tummy sticks, the phrase was around back
And
then.
I want you to know, too, and I'm going to go back to you, Pitsy, my little Republican suburban friend. You're a guy who cannot swim, yet you've eaten a cum-filled cookie. You haven't rode a bicycle, yet you've eaten a cum-filled cookie. Do you understand that as you see yourself as the regular Joe, the Mets fan, the Giants fan, you're the most fucking bizarre thing in the world? And here's this bald-headed fucking partner of mine, afraid that he's insane. You're nothing as nutty as these guys.
I have no experience to compare to that at all.
But you know what you lack?
What?
Confidence. These fucking the Keebler elf over here, Ookie Cookie, is as confident as hell.
Oh,
in
yeah.
his life.
Yeah, I would never have the nerve to call myself the big man on campus. Anywhere.
First of all,
Even on campus.
it's not a campus. He went to a junior college for fucking 2 semesters.
But I mean, maybe our stories will help Fez somewhat.
In what way, dummy?
Baking?
No, that he'll hear that. I mean, that we are maybe somewhat worse than he is, and that it'll give
Somewhat
him.
worse.
Well, I'm just saying, I want to help him. If telling my stupid stories helps him and my crazy things, I'll do it.
Does
all
it
the
help
time.
you at all, Fez?
No, the Ookie Cookie tale really didn't help me at all. It didn't bring me back from the brink.
What about Dave? Remember playing tummy sticks with his own dad?
My friend Rob.
I don't care what your dad's name is.
Was Rob married to your mom?
No, he wasn't.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
What?
Did you ever give Rob a Father's Day present?
Okay.
I want you to
It's
break
not
through.
helpful, though.
It's not your fault. It's
Right.
not your fault.
Not my fault.
It's not your fault.
Not my fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault.
Dave,
Yeah,
it's not your fault.
it's not my fault. Makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, does it?
It does. That phrase works.
Do you want
But-
to start crying like a Southie?
But if I see Rob now in a bar and something, I mean,
You'll blow him.
We don't. No.
You'll get so excited you'll fucking teabag him.
Don't believe in any of that fellatio business.
So you don't get it?
I get
Your
it
wife
from
doesn't
my-
go down on you?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't believe in fellatio.
I may on other men.
Oh, you don't want other men to get blowjobs.
I don't want to give blowjobs to men.
Again, you're done with that.
That-
You've done it when you were little, now you
Right.
don't want to. It's childish to you.
Basically. Mm-hmm. So,
It's not your fault. He made you do it.
No, I was willing.
You loved it.
I didn't say I loved it. It was a weird
Did you?
experience.
Were you the one who did it? To him? Did you come up with the game?
No, I didn't come up with it. He said, "You want to play sword fighting? I'll be Peter Pan. You be Captain Hook." I said, "Has that? What does that entail?" He said, "Well, take your pants down, and I'll show you." And then he goes,
You
"Here's
ever
my
notice
sword."
this? Everyone who will admit this will never said, "Hey, I came up with an idea." I said to my friend, everyone is always the mild, willing victim. Oh, I was so naive. No one ever says, I had a great idea. I thought I'd fucking go take my dick out, rub it on my buddies.
Yeah.
Who's this Captain Hook you speak of?
And here's fucking Ookie Cookie, who's sitting there jacking off on a fucking vanilla wafer, and he's acting like, well, this was something that was handed down from father and son in our Long Island town deer park. Oh, this was, and you know it's not fucking true.
No, it's all true. And by the way, I think Dave's experience is a lot worse than mine.
Really?
I
Yes.
never consumed.
First of all,
semen.
he was 8. You were 14 or 15. You were actually watching a video with 5 friends, not even fucking strangers in a bus station, 5 buddies who grew up together and still know each other now that you're in your 20s, jerking off on a cookie and then eating it.
Well, I mean, I didn't touch any penises, unlike Dave. So I don't-
You were fucking cock to cock with them, though, right? You were
Well-
standing in the circle?
Yeah. Yeah, we were standing in a circle, but we didn't touch each other.
Do you realize how difficult it would be for any heterosexual to be aroused in a circle with 4 other fucking penises there?
But when you're-
Do you realize?
When you're a kid and you see porno, your dick just gets hard. You can't
First of
control
all, were
that.
you seeing porno or the 4 fucking cocks that was set out in front of you like the penis beetles. That you're fucking sitting there like the fifth beetle. You can't. There's no video you're looking at. You're looking at 4 erect penises of your fucking friends. Period.
It was illegal cable. It was porno. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Dude, guess what? I've got cable. You ain't getting porno. At the most, it's fucking softcore.
Oh, when you're a kid, I mean, anything's porno to you back then.
Tell me, I bet it was HBO. I bet you're just sitting there watching HBO. Maybe you saw a quick fucking scene of something happening, all right? But this fucking, I guarantee you, this porno was Officer and a Gentleman. There was 2 seconds of some fucking bare ass, and then he's still jacking off while everybody else is doing sit-ups.
It was the suicide scene.
He's out of his fucking mind here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how I remember
You
it.
were in a circle jerk with the guys that you grew up with.
Yeah, I was.
Circle jerk is gay.
But I'm not touching penises. I'm touching my
Chips
own.
Ahoy is not that big.
So you don't see it even as a sexual act that took place?
No, I think masturbation is a sexual act, but I don't think it was sexual towards the other people. I think it was just for me, my personal satisfaction.
Right, but is that why you came on a cookie for a guy to eat? I'm going to tell you this. Most people have never came on food before. Most people have never came on food, let alone ate that food.
Well, I was lucky.
Long Island is the strangest fucking place in the world. It's shaped like a cock because everyone out there is a fucking penis smoker.
Well, at least I didn't have to eat the cum. That's all. I mean, if you think it's a gay experience, that's fine, but...
Yes, to be a giver means that you're not gay. Only the receiver is gay.
If you had lost, would you have eaten it?
I would have had to. I lost.
Dave, you were too young to come when yours took place.
Right. Much too young. Yeah. There could have been a little pre-cum because I think children...
By years.
Can. But...
It was pre-cum by years, by 5 years.
But because I remember both of our cocks being sticky at the end of the sword fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it certainly wasn't full-on semen. And that I stand by.
I think even sticky is giving it away. But in all honesty, Fez, we talked about you and your ridiculous nature. And you think that you had this traumatized childhood. You've had none of those stories. Why are you holding on so heavy to your stuff?
Maybe it's because it's like since I lock myself on purpose in my home and have no other experiences, maybe it's I hang on to them because those are the ones the few ones I have.
I don't even know what you mean by that. What are you saying?
I'm saying like maybe I don't let go of the past because I don't give myself any sort of future or present. I mean, not future, I meant present.
But again, why judge things as difficult or bad when these guys they're not judging themselves?
Yeah.
There's a lot for you, but by Pitsy actually saying there's a lot for you to learn, there is literally a lot for you to learn from Pitsy's attitude and from Dave's attitude. It happened, so what? Who cares? I sat around, I came out on Long Island on a cookie, my buddy ate it. So what? Now we all go out and get beers together. We all go to the Mets games together. Look at his face. He can't believe that he's got Mets tickets with guys that he's had a gay act with before. You know how come you're saying you can't commit to your girlfriend and you want to be with your buddies?
Mm-hmm.
It's because you peaked during the sexual cookie. That
Really?
was it for you. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know I could hit my peak at 14.
Dude, you'd be surprised how many people do. I mean, if this was the fucking old days, that probably is your sexual peak, 14.
That's mind-blowing.
Look at you now. How often do you have sex with your girlfriend?
Once a week?
If.
Yeah.
Do you ever come on a cookie for her?
No.
Would she eat it?
No.
Because you're not as close with her. It's a strange, strange world we're living in.
It is strange. There's strangeness around every corner.
All right, we've got to talk Obama with Vernon Reed. I don't know how we could go from that conversation into talking about the way the country's changing right now. Vernon and I were talking about this before, Fezzi. The country is going in a very, very strange direction. And I don't know what it's going to be. I really even have a hard time believing that Obama's going to win this election.
Well, there's still Texas, Ohio, and Pennsylvania left, and you can never count the Clintons out. Maybe we'll get mean Bill Clinton back again. Who knows?
But you also have to get past John McCain.
Right.
You also have to get past that. And I honestly think there's going to be a third-party thing that's going to pop up. But the one thing that we can all agree to, and the one thing that we can all admit, is that the world is changing. Our country is changing, particularly for me in the last couple months more than anything else. What does Vernon, what's he working on now?
Well, he's got his new CD, Urban Mythology Volume 1. That's in stores now. That's from his latest project, Freeform Funky Freaks. That's who he's with now, and they'll be performing tonight at Joe's Pub, 425 Lafayette Street, New York City.
All right, let's take a break, and we come back, and we'll be from Living Color, Vernon Reed.
It's the Ron and Fez Show on XM 202.
It's the Ron and Fez show. That's Vernon Reid with his new project, Freeform Funky Freaks, and that's called Nappy Hour.
As opposed to the happy hour.
Vernon Reid, welcome back, buddy. It's been a while. How's everything?
Good. We all survived Valentine's Day yesterday.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's good to get past that, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. You've got a gig tonight in town?
Yes, at Joe's Pub.
Joe's Pub, very cool.
Yeah.
Down in the Village?
Yeah, down in the East Village on Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's going to be me and Jamaldine Takuma and Calvin Weston.
Have you been touring around with this project, or what are you up to?
We were in Europe with it.
Yeah,
we were in Europe with it. I'm kind of doing a variety of things. Like when we just made this record over the summer, and we got around to play, and it's an interesting project because it started out. There's a venue here in New York City called Tonic, which is really like a center of kind of experimental music, all different sorts of music. Was featured down there, and want to give a shout out to Melissa and John, the owners, and they were really nice people, and they just had a great variety. And they recently closed down, and this is like on the heels of CBGB's closing, and of course there's some we lost Hilly Crystal, and so the New York live scene has been in transition. The bottom line,
sure, over and over again, and so. This was like in the last few weeks of Tonic, and I got a phone call from Calvin. He was like, "Man, we should really play down there." And we one thing led to another, and we got to the venue, and it was some kind of mess up with the traffic and everything, and so literally people were filling the place up, and we didn't have sound check or anything, and we literally just started to play, and Jamaldine Takuma. And the thing that links there's a funny thing about the history of the group. The thing that links the three of us is Ornette Coleman, because Jamaldine played with Ornette, the great jazz saxophonist. He just got a Pulitzer Prize, he got a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. I mean, he pioneered this theory of harmonic music as a kind of approach to improvisation, theory of improvisation in jazz. He was very controversial in the 50s and when he came out. But anyway, he had an electric group, and Jamaldine played bass in that group. And he had a guitarist named James Blood Ulmer, and he had a drummer named Ronald Shannon Jackson. And I wound up playing with Ronald, and Ronald had left the group and started his own group, the Decoding Society. And when Ron left, Calvin had replaced him in that band. So in sort of a 6 degrees of separation thing, we were all connected by Ornette, but we've never actually played together. It's like I've known these guys for years, and I played once on a Jamaldine Takuma record years ago, but we'd been friends, and so that's what wound up happening. We wound up just improvising, and it turned out really great. And the philosophy of the whole band is improvisation, no matter. Yeah, it's same in studio as like when you're in the club.
Same in the studio. I mean, there's a little post production, but everything on the Freeform Funky Freaks, there are no overdubbed guitars. Like you'll hear layers of guitar and things, because I use guitar and guitar synthesizers and things like that. But everything that happens on the record happens in real time. Like the record is our third performance. And we're up to, tomorrow's going to be performance number, today is going to be performance 23.
Yeah.
They all run together.
Sure.
They all run together.
Yeah. So you were in Europe for a while. What are the Europeans thinking about us here in America right now? I know they were so turned off by Bush, but what are they thinking about the new election? I imagine the hysteria surrounding Barack Obama has got to seem crazy to the rest of the world,
Well, the thing that's so funny about it, because at the time when we were touring, Barack Obama was one of a number of candidates.
Right.
And he was a candidate that people were really intrigued about.
Yeah.
And that was sort of like, wow, that's so interesting. And at that point, I mean, people were thinking that Al Gore might come back into the race. So it was, you know what I mean? So it was sort of a wide open thing. I mean, on the Republican side, it was wide open. But the fact that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were in the mix was very fascinating to the Europeans. And it was sort of like, yeah, man, wouldn't it be wonderful? Oh, okay. Back to reality.
Right.
And, I think now, what was the beginnings of a kind of fascination is full on.
Yeah.
Now it's full on. And whereas at the time, talking to your people, they were sick to death of the kind of, we'll act preemptively, we do what we like, Your old Europe, and it seemed like, okay, this election is a new opening, and which way is America going to go? And to have Barack Obama as a possible option, it's totally fascinating.
Yeah. And, even here, I'm a little bit of a news junkie when it comes to this stuff. So, Iowa was the first night that I thought, hey, even though I've been keeping an eye on Obama this whole time, I never knew he was such a great public speaker. Geez, he reminds me of the public speakers from the 60s. And it's only been like a month or two since Iowa? Where now this is so ingrained that these speeches have become, we're talking about, rock and roll. It has taken on what we would consider rock and roll fever then.
Well, I have a very particular interest. Obviously, I'm African American.
Mm-hmm.
You are?
That's so 70s, that joke.
But I have if I wanted to really hyphen, I'm sort of African Caribbean American. But aside from all of that, Living Color, Vivid came out 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were playing around New York, and people were like, so it's a rock and roll band, good luck. And it was really, the conventional wisdom at the time before Vivid came out was you were not going to get signed. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
Certainly if you get signed, the record's going to wind up immediately in a cutout bin. And so there was this, I remember watching the Mets in '86 during the playoffs, and I was thinking, if these guys win this game, it's possible.
Yeah, right. That magic
thinking.
I
get down to the last out. I was like, it's possible. And I was in Tramps when Tramps was Tramps I think it was on 13th Street with that. And Tramps was downtown. So I was like, and so it was just so deep that game and that series was.
Yeah.
It had a feeling of just a faded thing, much not unlike the Giants.
Yeah.
It had just a feeling of the gears of fate just turning,
But somehow things open up in the universe, and there's a time to move some things quick.
There's and so I remember when we finished the mixes for Vivid, and I remember Ed played it and was done, and we were at Right Track, not far from here, Right Track Studios on 48th Street, and I remember thinking, I felt as if this was going into space. That was my thought. It was like it's nothing. It's out of. I felt like it's out of our hands. It literally was that, and I had no idea what was going to happen. And I feel very much that that's where a lot of America is right now.
Yeah.
In a way, Barack Obama has been the path for Barack Obama has been paved by Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
It's been paved. It's been paved by many. I could say it's been paved by Jimi Hendrix. It's been paved by so many things. When I saw that Malcolm X had a postage stamp, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
In my
it is true. As weird as much as we act like in America, this is the way things are. Change still happens all the time. Now, the interesting thing about Tiger Woods was, Tiger Woods has been, 8-9 years, I guess, that he, start doing this. At first, all we had to hear about was his ethnic background, and now he's just Tiger Woods.
Right.
And, he's Tiger Woods, and the next guy that comes along, it's not even going to be brought up again. We can break through things. As soon as something becomes normal, people will accept it.
Well, the thing about Tiger Woods is it was his ethnic thing, but it was just the way he played was just people didn't play like that. It was like, what does he do? It was either Jack Nicklaus or Arnold. It was Jack Nicklaus that he plays a game with which I am not familiar.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was just watching that thing the other, rewatching this documentary on the shoe company, Nike, and they showed that commercial where Tiger's just bouncing the ball and then off the glove like it's nothing and behind his back, and then hits it like it's a baseball. And I'm like, holy shit, I forgot when that commercial came out. It was like no one had ever seen golf before. You know what I mean? He changed everything so much. And that's the interesting thing, to go back to Barack. Something is definitely happening where even, and the Clinton brothers cannot, you can't count them out. You know,
No.
Bill and Hillary are going, they're going to do some kind of shit, whatever it takes to win. But, it's going to be so disappointing for the Democratic Party if that happens now, because this thing has opened up.
It's so delicate. It's so delicate. I was speaking to my wife. I said, each side has got to play this really carefully because everyone that's in this race, including McCain, is so hungry. You couldn't write something this dramatic in Hollywood. I mean, here's like the war hero, and this is like maybe his last hurrah.
Sure.
And this is his, you know what I mean? And he's despised by his party, right? Then you have Hillary, who's like, she's been at her husband's side, and he's humiliated her, and that, you know what I mean, by his craziness, and for her, it's her turn. And then there's Barack Obama, and Barack Obama says, this is the unlikely American journey, and it really is true. It's sort of like, in a way, Barack Obama, it's really not so critical.
Yeah.
What is that?
Earl, what's going on in there, buddy? How could that be coming through our headphones?
That's very odd.
Yeah.
Not even in English.
I honestly believe that Cuba just attacked. I've never heard that before. And the entire time I've worked in radio, to suddenly hear foreign language. And it sounded aggressive. It did sound...
Yeah.
Totally aggressive.
They all do.
Yeah.
Every foreign language.
Well, you come up with good stuff. It's so Shakespearean what is happening right now. These are Shakespearean characters. And when people tell me, oh, I've never been interested in politics, I'm like, this is unlike any politics I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely.
To be a person who just follows along with the current events of their own country, there is no possible setup. And I think which was really interesting with Hillary is that women that are like over 50 years old see this as like a woman's movement. And women that are under 50 don't get that thing at all because they don't know the oppression of women before. And the same that you could say with African Americans, with Barack, with people that are over 50 are like, holy shit, I cannot believe that this guy's running. And anyone under 50 is like, yeah, whatever. I like him because he's young and he's on the outside. It's not even like we even own things like women and men and black and white anymore.
Well, the thing about it is that this whole thing it's so interesting because there's so many people in the old civil rights, elder states people that are kind of really very ambivalent about him. They're not into it because he didn't come through the ranks. He didn't, he's not from the South. He didn't come to kiss the ring. And he really basically has he's having his own dialogue with America, which is sort of parallel or apart from the civil rights dialogue. And even though he acknowledges the importance of the civil rights movement, he wouldn't be here without it. But the old guard is like, wait a minute, man, where'd you come from? Who are you? Who are you?
Right.
And there's almost a sense of outrage. Like, it's sort of like the character that comes in a movie and somebody says, you think you can just come waltzing in here and rewrite the rules? It's extraordinary. He, in a way, like I mentioned that Tiger Woods, in a way, Muhammad Ali,
right,
as well. You know what I mean? Because Muhammad Ali made this transition from Cassius Clay, through contact with Malcolm X to becoming Muhammad Ali. But here's a character with a man with an Africanized Muslim name, and basically an African name where many African Americans in the 70s changed their names because because of their political their political inclinations and things. But here's a person who is Barack Hussein Obama, and it's incredible that and in fact that's part of that when he spoke at the Democratic convention and he said, he's a skinny kid with a funny name, and it's so it's just so powerful. And in a way, I mean, Barack Obama is really not so much about the first black president. It's about how Barack Obama leads to the first Native American president.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about like kids it's like my daughter's 4 years old, and the idea that I could say to her, you know, that man is the president of the United States, or for that matter, you know, say that woman is the president of the United States, because I don't discount. I mean, I'm for many reasons, more than even the obvious ones of race, I support Obama's presidency and ascendancy, but you know, I actually, at the same time, you know, I think it's very important that we really do change the mindset. So if it comes down to Hillary, see, that's why I said earlier that they've got to be very careful about how they, because it's so rancorous. They're so hungry for it that they've got to massage it in a way that they don't disaffect.
Right.
You know?
Because
the interesting thing, though, is there's something happening to the real, like the zeitgeist, the American zeitgeist. There's something happening that almost those things are on the outside. That we said he's not running as a black man. She's not really running as a woman. She's running on her 35 years experience, blah, blah, blah. All these things would have been impossible 20 years ago, probably 8 years ago. Yeah. And something is happening in the psyche of the American people that I don't think the news is on top of yet. And it's really opened up, I think, in the last couple of months.
I'll tell you what it is. I mean, if you want any other evidence of how failed the Bush regime, the Bush presidency is, I mean, history's going to look at it, you know, and after 8 years of this, they elected, I mean, you know, you got to think about this. John McCain was his in 2000, was his like straight up personal enemy. I mean, they despised one another through the first term of his presidency. So here's like, the alternatives are a character who's despised by his own party, an African-American, essentially newcomer, and the wife of the president. Well, if you want to know what the presidency was, that's what this presidency has led to.
And instead of like being anger and people toppling the Bush presidency, it's almost an exhaustion and just show me anything else. Show me something that is so far away from George Bush and what he did. I mean, the Republicans have done that their own. They have gone as far away that right-wing radio is freaked out that their own party would go adapt John McCain, somebody they say is a leftist. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. There is some kind of change taking place that I don't even think that people have been able to face on an intellectual level yet.
Well, the other thing, too, is like the idea of I think that an Obama presidency is seismic. I mean, the effect that it has on the globe, it simultaneously says America is a place of real possibility. Anything can happen in America. People have said it for years.
Right.
And, you know, of course, like something like the rise of Microsoft or the rise of Apple or the all these innovations. Oh, yeah, things you can do business with. But the idea that this could actually happen, I mean, everyone is going to be like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, and it'll be very, very strange to see how, like, let's say Arabs deal with it. How they will deal with this guy. Will they go, everything that we said about America is not true? Or, you know, everything will be different from that point on.
I tell you what, the essentially racist nature of Al-Qaeda and terrorism, it will be exposed, because in many countries, you know, they still practice slavery and things like this, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how they try to spin it to their own constituencies. You know what I mean? Because for many people, they'll be like, well, the American people are capable of anything. I mean, this is, you know, I mean, it'll be a very powerful thing. Terrorism is not going to go away, and in fact, it may exacerbate it. But it seems to me that it's one of those things that they're going to have to. Everyone is going to start spinning. Everyone is going to, because like, you know, Al Qaeda's got their own kind of, you know, they got their whole publicity machine. Every time you see a video, there's music. You know, they've got their own production thing going on.
Right.
And everyone is going to start spinning. Well, what does this mean? That it's like the fall of communism. Like, everyone in the right wing was freaked out. I remember when it first was happening, they were like, it's not real. Before they claimed victory over communism, it's not real. Glasnost is not real. They're hiding in the back somewhere, you know. And
it was too hard to believe. It was too hard to believe that your entire belief system, your whole life, got flipped on you.
And that's the thing that's so incredible about it, is that it's taken years to build up to this point, and the whole idea that things could flip. I mean, it's going to mean so much to so many, because he was talking about a couple of things. He said, you know, I want to go to schools and, you know, I want to look at these kids and say, you know, I have high expectations of you. And this is, I mean, that's powerful. That's going to mean something. You know, there's some people that say, well, if there's a black president, people are going to go to sleep. I don't think that's true. I think what's going to happen is he's going to have the most scrutinized presidency in the history of the republic. He's not trying to become president to mess up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's all about, he's going to make mistakes. Every president does.
And it'll be totally interesting to see, if he gets in, who his advisors are going to become. You know what I mean? Will they be the old Democratic Guard, or will be all new guys? And, you know, the fact that the Kennedy family has picked up on this goes to show you, you know, that there's something moving along right now.
I think that many people are very divided. There are many people who are, I mean, it's sort of, for many people, it's happening too fast for them. But it's like the show 24, which is a very popular show.
Right.
The show 24 features, I mean, 2 African-American presidents in succession. So there's sort of like, we talk about the zeitgeist. In a weird way, this ground has been prepared in a way, and psychically. You know what I mean? I mean, kids growing up with that show, they're like, a black president, there's a black president on the TV show. It's not that deep for me.
Yeah.
You know?
That is the funniest thing about each generation does not hold on to whatever struggle or whatever happened to the generation before. It's like I remember, you know, hearing about VJ Day, or, you know, when you found out about Pearl Harbor or whatever. And it never really connected with me, of course. You know, it would be just like, oh, yeah, sure, that must have been crazy. Until then, 9/11, you know what I mean? Where you could see that everything can change incredibly quick. Then it finally made some kind of sense to me. But I'm sure to kids born after 9/11, not going to mean that much, too, you know?
Well, you know, the thing, part of it is like, how do you know, I mean, it seems to me that the whole way of gathering intelligence, the whole thing of how do you fight a war like this, I mean, this is something that, you know, the administration has stumbled through. You know, it's completely stumbled and in a way fumbled, because if you know, basically there's kind of like a shrug. Well, you know, this is going to happen and when McCain says, oh yeah, we'll be there another 100 years. It's like, we can't afford it.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
I mean, it's total hyperbole. It's like, well, you know, you don't like. Can we afford another 10 years of this? It's incredible. Where's the money going to, like, you know, I mean, here the Republicans are supposed to embody fiscal responsibility, and it's like, where's the money? Like, nobody says, where's the money going to come from? They always say about the Democrats, tax and spend. And I say, you know, essentially the Republicans have been war and spend. You know, spending money on what are we spending it on? Why are soldiers still using the M16 when the AK-47 is a much more reliable weapon? I mean, aside from the fact we shouldn't be fighting anyway, so how could you have these people in flak jackets, like aging flak jackets? You know, I mean, why is Star Wars even still being funded? Why aren't they? There's so many things to ask, and it's like,
and when you find
there are
out,
no answers.
Yeah, when you find out even some of that stuff is caught up for corporate reasons and money reasons, it's beyond heartbreaking to find out that human beings. I mean, I like making money as much as anyone, and I can't imagine doing that over somebody else's health and welfare. You know,
because it's like idea of, are we are we people that are really special and cared for? Are we a number, statistics?
Well, do you guys remember when U2 and Green Day made that When the Saints Come In video? Did you ever see that video where it showed the Iraqi stuff, us, the way that we came into Iraq, but they put it into New Orleans, like we were actually, all of our troops were hitting New Orleans and dropping food and bringing in these helicopters. And you were watching it, and I'm watching this video, and I was like so moved, and I, of course, wasn't expected, because I'm like, holy shit, what if we were those type of people? I mean, all of us. What if we found out we will go into places and bring in rescue stuff as completely as we would with missiles? And there is the strangest possibility that maybe we could be heading into that.
Well, it's such a curious time. It's sort of like when people say, and I say the hyperbole of, this is the greatest conflict since World War II. I mean, if it's really that, then everyone should be mobilized. I mean, there should be there should be people under arms. There should be a draft.
There should be some sacrifice.
There should be some sacrifice. And the thing is, once you entreat people to sacrifice, then the citizen has a right to ask serious questions.
But if this was like World War II, do you think Congress would be sitting there wondering if the Patriots cheated this year, and we would have a senator who was sitting there who wants to see the tapes, that we would be sitting there wondering about steroids in baseball? I mean, this is the shit our Congress is paying attention to now. This week, we've got to be the craziest people in the world. Who gives a shit whether or not the Patriots, the NFL can't take care of the Patriots? We got to have Arlen Specter going, where are the tapes? I felt like I swear to God, I felt like I lost my mind when I saw that.
I think he's asking for tapes back to 2000 now. That's what he's accused Bill Belichick
He's trying to get the Eagles the Super Bowl from 3 years ago. I swear to God, it's a true story. He's a big Eagles fan, and he's pissed that the Eagles did not win that Super Bowl, and they seem to know exactly when to blitz Donovan McNabb, and he's going to get to the bottom of it.
And everyone else has let go of this, except Arlen Specter.
That's it. Well, sports is a national metaphor for so many things. I mean, sports. I mean, certainly during the wars, sports were very, during World War II, sports were very meaningful. I mean, that's how they caught, because one of the things that was happening, after the Normandy invasion was that. One of the big things was that the Germans were capturing uniforms, right? And they would actually masquerade. They would get guys that spoke good enough English, to do espionage. And one of the things that they did to catch guys was they would ask them sports questions.
Who plays third base for the Yankees, right?
You know what I mean? And if you didn't know, you know what I mean?
Can you imagine being one of those guys who doesn't follow sports? You're just sitting there with a gun to your head. You don't understand. My dad was in the opera. Why are you doing this to me?
I mean, it's true, and we're laughing, but those kind of things happen because, part of it is the brutal comedy, the brutal absurdity
of the entire thing,
of the entire enterprise.
And being a musician, this, and of course, obviously, what we do. When things start to change, it's very interesting how it starts to change across the board. Where this was a great year for film. You know what I mean? And when you look back at, like, say, at certain times of the country, like in the '60s, all of a sudden there would be great albums coming out. Great music coming out, great books being written, and all the crazy conflict that was taking place politically. We were in chaos politically, and at the same time, our art couldn't have been, flowering more. And I always love to look back at the music thing of the '60s, because you hear, the music of the '60s was better. But if you look at what was happening in New York, it was so much different than what was happening in L.A., in San Francisco, in London, and yet all those things came together, Right. But every scene was different at that same exact time. It's almost amazing to look at.
Well, there was a much more of an investment of, in what was happening. It's like Jimi Hendrix was a veteran of the 101st Airborne. And, so when I actually just wrote, about Jimmy playing the Star Spangled Banner. And it's very interesting because in 68, he did it during Woodstock, 69, the last day of Woodstock. Who's the last act.
Right.
And thinking about the Star Spangled Banner in 68, Jose Feliciano, he flipped everyone out when he played it during Game 5 of the World Series.
Right.
And his version is beautiful. It's just groovy, laid back, and people were outraged, And then there was the whole thing at the Mexico Olympics,
right? With the shoes and stuff. They took their shoes off, but the Black Power,
the Black Power thing, and that was during the playing of the national anthem. And then Aretha Franklin sang the national anthem before the Chicago Democratic Convention, and then she sang the anthem, and then all hell broke loose, right? So it all led up to Jimi Hendrix playing. One of the definitive versions of the anthem. And it's so funny, when he's on the Dick Cavett show, they were like, well, people thought it was crazy, it was da-da-da. And he said, well, I'm an American, so I played it. You know what I mean? And in fact, he started out as a very patriotic, cat.
Right.
He was a true believer, and he eventually became politicized and started to see it a different way. And this is what's so interesting about this time period, is because there's a much lower stake involved for day-to-day people in the war, unless you directly have a family member who volunteered.
Absolutely.
And it's reflected in the music. It's interesting to me that there's this popular dance, the Soldier Boy,
right?
Which is curious that we're fighting two wars. And here's this thing: it's cute. It's sort of like a little dance craze. But the Soldier Boy is happening while people are,
actual soldier boys, right?
And the two don't have anything to do with one another, but yet again they do, So,
and it is also to show that kids are disconnected from the war completely. It is a way to go, well, here's something fun. At the same time that we're saying we're disconnected with that war, kids are playing violent video games and involved in, you're connected online to other people. We're all in the same platoon together. It's the strangest stuff that we couldn't be more separated. We couldn't be more together. And again, to get back to Barack Obama, it's very, very strange for me to see a guy, and I haven't decided which way I'm voting yet.
Sure.
I haven't really looked, and they're saying, well, you and Hillary and him need to debate. They basically are running on mainly the same stuff. You look over at John McCain, he's a little further over to the left than the Republicans have been for a while. So I don't feel like any one of these people is going to destroy the country. But to see people showing up at a political rally now and crying and going through something that would have been like a religious revival, whatever, it goes to show me that there's something in those people that are showing up. Now it's almost like the end of Field of Dreams, where suddenly people are coming out,
right?
And it ain't about what happened. It's about their own shit that's taking them back
Right.
out, that they haven't been in the streets in a long time,
Right.
And there is some change going on.
Well, the danger. One of the things that's so interesting is this whole notion of hope, and hope is a hell of a drug.
Right.
This whole notion that the thing that's improbable or impossible can come true, and it is kind of magical, and it does have something to do almost with religious faith.
Yeah,
like this. It really is, in a way, the faith in the greatness of the country, that, no matter what has happened here and terrible things have happened, there's something essentially good inside of America. And that goodness can be realized by voting a certain way or by buying a certain product. It's a very powerful, it's a very, very powerful notion.
Fez, you already made your decision. You're baracking it?
I'm baracking it, yeah.
And Dave, you too?
Absolutely Barack.
What is your based on?
My thing was that he seems to be nicer to the gay community, and I got a brother who is one of those.
So for you, it's all based on if your brother's happily gay.
Yeah.
What's it based on for you?
For me, right now, it's just simply change. It's something absolutely different.
And Hillary's too old school, and McCain's too old school?
Exactly, yeah. It's so Washington. And it doesn't look, I just think Barack Obama could be an actual uniter, even though we've heard people say that before.
I just think it's, part of it, I mean, as I said before, I have many different reasons why. Part of it is like, it's so astonishing to me. It's so wow. The wow moment is so huge in terms of his ascendancy. And that, I think that actually trumps the fact that he's African American for me. It's like...
Yeah. For me, I'm big into public speaking, and we haven't had a great public speaker
in a long time.
Probably since the 60s. I mean, almost because of TV, you don't get to see the big crowds anymore. And I mean, you used to have to pull this off to be a leader. You could even look back at Mussolini things, and it would look like Woodstock. You know what I mean? Like, you used to have to be able to stand up in front of people and pull excitement levels out of that. And since TV, we get smaller and smaller and smaller with the message, where instead of being this leader that excites people, you're almost like the dad on a sitcom, where you're sitting down with the country and saying, look, I know you're upset, but this is what your mom and I want you to do.
Right. Well, it's like the Peggy Lee song, is that all there is,
Right.
I mean, there's a part of it like this, okay, nothing will ever change. We know how this game is played. You get someone who's kind of in the middle and is blah blah blah. I mean, I think it's clearly not that way now. It's clearly it's something is. I mean, and there are many people that are very threatened by it, upset about it. I mean, but there's something going on with. I mean, it's not just Democrats, because the Democrats are really split. It's independents and even moderate Republicans. So like moderate Republicans who feel like that their party has gone really completely nutty with the religious thing. There are a lot of like those folks that are like, well, McCain is okay, but there are a lot of folks that are kind of even more moderate Republicans, like sort of like Lowell Weicker type Republicans. They're going to vote. They're going to vote either Democrat or for Barack Obama, because there are people that are like, you know what? I'm just tired of the incompetence, of the just naked kind of grasping incompetence.
I don't, I think I'm going to believe it when I see it, November. I cannot imagine a better show than we are going to have over the rest of this year leading into November. Yeah, there's been nothing like it.
It's going to be shocks and thrills. I mean, there's going to be, I remember when Barack lost in New Hampshire, I was just like, and then I was just mad that I was even invested that much. I was like crestfallen.
Right.
Yeah.
But then here's the really interesting thing, because I'm like, well, you cannot believe the polls anymore. I saw polls today that people sent to me. Barack is now 10 points above Hillary across the country. Then I saw other things in PA and Ohio where he was tracing her. So I just think that this thing is changing on a daily basis. But you bring up the night of New Hampshire, and that's when he loses. He gives that phenomenal speech.
Incredible.
That they turned into that music video now.
Yes, we can.
Which is unbelievable. I mean, could you imagine this happening with a political leader over the course of your lifetime? Well, I cannot imagine it.
Well, people would throw around in the last 5 years. They threw around the thing rock star. This person's a rock star in business, is a rock star in politics, and the yes we can phenomenon. Taking spoken word and then throwing melody underneath it.
Yeah,
it's just really powerful because he's so charismatic. And my wife said, I woke up one day. I woke up one day. And Gabri, my wife, said, you have to see this. And she took me to her laptop, and I was just like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing moment. I mean, YouTube and MySpace and Facebook, I mean, who could have anticipated the effect?
No, absolutely not, man.
It's
how quickly these videos take off now. Because again, as that video, it's not playing on MTV or anything, right?
No.
And I don't think any radio stations are playing that as if it's a song. It's just being passed around from friend to friend.
Well, it's sort of like, you start out with Tay Sunday. You wind up with Yes We Can. I mean, and this technology is is not only improving, but I mean there are other players coming in, there are other things coming into the arena of that. So it's pretty interesting.
Well, Vernon, it's always fun to have you stop by, man.
Yeah,
and,
man.
Congratulations on what you're up to. Big show tonight.
Yeah, everybody come on out and get freaked out by the Freeform Funky Freaks. You know, these times are pretty random. So,
yeah.
But funky, random, freaky fun.
That's going to be at Joe's Pub tonight, 425 Lafayette Street, New York City. Also, the Freeform Funky Freak CD, Urban Mythology Volume 1, that is in stores now.
Thanks for stopping by,
Thanks for having me, man. It's great. I look forward to we got to do this again. I mean, election night coverage. It's going to be
we'll be on here. I think we're going to be on that night. So we got all the TV set up. Come on down and we'll all do it together.
It's going to be, I mean, it's so funny. Like every day, nobody knows what's going to happen next, and it's incredibly exciting.
Right back, Ron and Fez Show.
Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
Hey, Mooch, what's that you're listening to, buddy?
Well, Pepper, it's my favorite new CD, the Phelps Family Singers' Greatest Hits. It's the Dog's Bollocks.
That's right, fellas. The Ropers are back. Ron and Fez Studios is proud to present 35 tracks of God-fearing hate speech goodness.
God hates the world. He hates you and all the people. That means you. Everyone face a fiery day for your proud city. Let's obey him.
Who could forget this classic, God Hates America?
America, the perverts home.
Here's one you can play at parties.
The Pope is on fire. He don't get no water. Let that heretic burn. First he was a liar. Now he's on fire. He don't get no water. Let that heretic burn.
If you order today, you'll also get the rare Christmas live track. Santa Claus will take you to hell.
At night, Santa Claus will take you to hell.
Order yours today. Don't miss this opportunity to feel the power of the Lord. And remember, God hates you.
Then sin became a civil right. Now God hates this land.
Due to Supreme Court Order Number 134, subsection D, you can no longer purchase this album in stores.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.
I'm home. All the time. We finally really did it. You maniac! You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Ron and Fez Show. Friday before a big 3-day weekend. Vernon Reed, always an intense guy, huh? That was in here today.
Yeah, but very insightful.
You think?
Yeah, I did. I learned something new. Gave me an interesting perspective.
I wonder what Vernon sees in Earl. I really have a hard time explaining and understanding that friendship. Of course, I have a hard time understanding my friendship with Earl. I would really think, if I was outside of me, think, what does Ron see in Earl?
I wonder if Earl lies as much to Vern.
Do you lie to him also, Earl, or just us?
I don't lie to him, no. And I don't lie.
Is that why you're voting for Obama? Because it excites Vernon Reed?
I'm voting for Obama because I just think he's the best candidate.
I know after during the break, you followed Vernon into the men's room.
What?
Yeah.
I think it was another case of Ookie Cookie.
When does a man follow another man into a men's room?
I don't know. I just saw them walk in together. No, I saw Vernon walk in to go to the bathroom, and Earl just followed him like a little puppy.
DL?
Talking to him.
Not
Is this the down low?
It was not DL. I was holding the door. He walked in. He asked me a question. I couldn't.
By the door, do you mean his penis?
Not his penis, no.
Lasted the whole break.
The door that you were holding. Pair of balls attached to it at the bottom?
No balls attached.
Because you might have had a penis in your hand.
Not at all.
All right.
This weekend is going to be night of 100 podcasts. It's going to be this Sunday right here on The Virus.
Also known as Sunday Bloody Sunday, Fez. It's going to be a lot of excitement. Read off the list of all the people doing podcasts.
We are going to have Best in Show doing a podcast, The Brooklyn Blowhard, Fred from Brooklyn, High Society, The Hideout, and CT and Jiven.
One thing that you could say here is Brooklyn is really being represented during this podcast.
Podcasting may be Brooklyn's new industry.
Now, I see Dean from Brooklyn is here. He told me that he was depressed that we didn't pick up another Brooklyn show called Don Stugatz and the Don Stugatz Experience. But, Dean, after what I heard from Dave...
Right.
What was some of the things that you said Don Stugatz
all
said?
I do for Ron and Fez, all the posts that I've created for Ron and Fez on .net and FBA, and they don't have the nerve
Where'd
to
you see
even
that?
ask me.
Where'd you hear or see that,
This is
Dave?
what my spies told me.
Your spies are full of shit. Let them come out. Let them come out and let them. You have pretty reliable sources. Let them come out and show me the proof.
You are third
Show
mic
Ron and Fez the proof.
on the Experience, right?
Yeah.
And you can speak for the Experience,
right?
That these things have never happened.
Never have happened.
Earl, did you get the opportunity to listen to the Experience?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
And I never thought I'd say this, but I agree with Dave. I absolutely agree with Dave in the sense that it was...
Wow, hold on. Let me be shocked for a second. You're saying it's what?
Dave's accusation of a lot of like Anthony-isms being thrown out were absolutely true. Lots of them.
Dean, do you see this?
No, not at all. Not at all. He doesn't do impressions, and I don't know how old the show is that you listen to. I don't know.
It's impressions of impressions.
Yeah, it's impressions of, and like, and anything he's ever done on the air, like as far as impressions, he's always done bad impressions to just be cute with it. He's never. And
that's his shtick.
Yeah, that's his thing. But but it's not his thing. He doesn't do impressions all the time. That's not what he does. So.
My spies tell me at one point he went to break and said, it's the opening, it's the Don Stugatz show. Okay, that was a bit of a joke. But no, in all sincerity, I've heard him do the dice. And it's the
By the way, you should never even use sincerity when it comes to yourself.
He's doing dice, and it's Anthony's dice, and we grew up in Sheepshead Bay in Brooklyn. We saw dice when we were freaking kids over at Pips. I mean, this is a guy who's idolized dice his whole life, and so I don't think he's doing Anthony's dice, but I mean, all right, I mean, if people don't like it, all I asked for was positive, any kind of feedback, even negative feedback. So it doesn't matter.
Have you listened to it, Fez?
I have not listened to this.
I'm going to put Fez on it next.
All right.
So eventually this is going to get to me. This is what scares me. This is getting closer and closer to Ronnie B all the time. It's going to seep into my consciousness. I can't believe Earl came out on the side of Dave.
But how old was the show, Earl? Was I on the show?
You remember what you heard there, Earl?
I listened to the most recent one. It was
with me on it.
There was the one where he was getting made up as a woman.
Oh yeah, that was the last show. That was the bet.
That's
show
an Anthony bit.
No, that's Howard's.
He shaved his legs and he lost the Super Bowl bet. So. Right.
Super Bowl bet? Wait a minute, that's Fez's thing.
Yeah.
Are you shaving after a Super Bowl?
No, I don't have to listen to it. I know this thing. I know this thing's a ripoff.
Yeah.
Dean, I don't understand these guys.
No, I mean, they don't have to like it, but the bashing is not, that's what I'm defending. I'm not defending the show. It's, to each his own. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But, you can't say that he's bashing you guys.
I can't be tolerant. Well,
I've never gotten anything but respect out of the gentleman.
Right.
That's what he says to you, but I just hear a lot about gripes.
Dude, the first time I met him, he jumped out of the shadows to see me down in my neighborhood.
Right, but
I ran into him on the street where he was working. Yeah, he was working at a construction site near you.
Yeah, not far from me.
Absolutely.
So, all I've ever had was respect from the guy.
All right.
On the other hand, I can't say that.
I have plenty of respect for you, and so much so that
if you listen to last night's
information.
Well, if you listen to last night's show, the most recent show, which is last night, it's up on the site. He addressed the Dave accusations, and he addresses Dave.
Oh, that I do want to hear.
Yeah,
and so do I. I definitely addressed some of the bullshit I think he's spewing.
Good,
and his loyalty to Ron and Fez.net.
I'd like to
that
see
he's
these.
jumped ship, and now he's back, and all of a sudden, he's the spokesman for Ron and Fez.net. That that Stugatz. He wants to hold it against Stugatz that Stugatz jumped ship from ronandfez.net.
He did.
But so did you. You were an FBA guy. Well, you're full of shit.
Because I was promised a moderatorship.
So you leave
at
it.
FBA.
So you leave,
It's a very important position.
And he left ronandfez.net to help a friend of his, Mafia Life Chris, and become a moderator on Mafia Life Chris's board. Mikey Boy didn't complain.
Right. Mikey Boy never does.
He didn't
Mikey
jump
Boy's
ship.
a gentleman.
Yeah, he
Mikey
didn't
Boy's
jump
one of
ship
the
for
few cool
nothing.
people.
Oh,
You know
I
what?
agree with that.
This whole entire thing is starting to sound like board gossip.
Razzle dazzle. It's board gossip with Eastside Dave.
A little gossip, a little gossip,
Yes. It's okay. All right. Yes. All right. They understand now. It's okay. For crying out loud. It's board gossip time. Starting off with a segment called According to Melinda. When a certain flea man posted in FBA, quote, rape is sometimes funny, Anthony's girlfriend replied, rape is only funny if it were to happen to you, by Ray Lewis. Small dick. End quote. Oh my, there you have it, Flea. Hope you're not afraid of birds because you may be raped by a raven, according to Melinda. Shuttling to Pal Talk, where Lil Adam Walsh is reportedly pissier than a public urinal. When he was recently bounced from Pal Talk by a certain happy typing girl, Lil Adam cried, "Screw you, happy dyking girl. Take your power trip and shove it up your ass." End quote. However, my sources tell me HTG is in fact not a lesbian and that Lil Adam Walsh must live in a vineyard because he sure is whiny.
Wine, wine, wine takes me back to when she was mine, mine, mine.
Did you actually just use the term vineyard?
Vineyard? That word always confuses me, Ron. Because
Why?
Because, Ron, you pronounce it vine.
Yeah.
And then you call it a vineyard for some reason. You don't even pronounce the yard correctly.
But you said vineyard, like
I know,
it was German.
It was,
That's
Get
where they,
that back in the vineyard.
sounds like a bad automobile.
it's where they grow the grapes.
Yeah, it was terrible pronunciation on my part. Jumping over to ronfez.net, where Judge Smales apparently is smitten with Disney's latest star, Selena Gomez. Smales was overheard to say, "I can't help but to crank it out to this chick and think of her shaved snatch." End quote. Oh my. Of course, the fact that Selena Gomez is only 16 is a bit of a problem, but as the saying goes, if she's old enough for ponytails, she's old enough for Judgy Smales.
I met a little girl. She was wearing a ponytail. If I had her hat,
T-Bone Walker. Speaking of milk,
You know what, Dean? You're not falling for any of this, are you? Because of what you've been through.
These are reliable sources.
You're not believing any of this.
Not a word.
Yeah.
You can
Not a
all
word.
find this on the internet.
I believed everything he said up until this week.
I
For some
know.
reason, I bought into this whole thing.
Yeah.
That one was even given to me by Mr. Mikey Boy himself. I hate to reveal my source.
But you just did.
I forgot. Speaking of
So much for that source.
Speaking of meltdowns, from Spread the Irish, Deadhead Josh apparently has a touch of rage for the board. Deadhead was seen by gossip spies exclaiming, "This board has become a dictatorship, and that's why people just don't last here. Also, the board is just plain gay." End quote. We get it, Deadhead Josh, or should we call you Deadhead Brady Quinn? Look on the bright side. Spread the Irish fans. At least your plumbing works well because the Unity has completely drained from your website.
Got everything going for you right down the drain.
The Gin
I'll
Sisters.
bet your mama don't.
Oh, yeah. That old chestnut.
The Gin Sisters.
So now, see, there's another attack on Mafia Life Chris.
I was reporting what Deadhead Josh said to me,
Yeah.
Ron.
I think it's a Brooklyn thing. I
It is.
honestly think it's a
He
Brooklyn
hates
thing.
Brooklyn.
I live in the borough.
Yeah.
Oh, board gossip, man.
What part,
You're
though?
not a Brooklyn guy.
What part?
Borum Hill, Ron. But like,
Not familiar with it.
not really.
And now for Who Could It Be?
Who can it be now? Who can it be now?
From FBA, silly putty outed a certain fanatical Barack Obama supporter and radio producer for recently lying when he said that if he could taste one flavor for the rest of his life, it would be chicken. Forgetting that 1 month earlier on the Ron and Fez show, said producer also claimed he hated fried chicken and most kinds of chicken in general. Oh, the deceit continues. I can't tell you who this mentally unstable fibber is, except that he wears a junior soprano sleep mask and enjoys spanking with his socks on while thinking of Lily.
That's Earl.
No, but I do wonder, who could it be?
Earl!
I can't tell you that for sure.
Earl! That's who it could be.
Well, we don't know for sure, though. We don't know for sure.
Earl!
No, we don't. And
well, he likes Lily and he spanks with his socks on.
Right.
Earl, you don't like chicken?
I don't like fried chicken. I said, and I remember specifically saying baked chicken.
Most kinds of chicken. It
still tastes like chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken is chicken.
And if you're going to have one flavor for the rest of your life,
yeah,
fried chicken is going to cut off a lot of possibilities.
How could you not like fried chicken? What is the big taste difference on the chicken part between fried and baked?
I think it's just a different texture. It's a different feel. It's a different taste.
It's the same taste.
I prefer
It's chicken.
baked chicken.
Lies.
I'm glad you've made an ass out of Fez with your lying. Remember when you were angry earlier today, Fez? You threw a pen against the window?
I remember.
Did you honestly think the window was going to shatter from a pen?
I had hoped. I really hoped that I had hit it at just the right pressure point. So that would have shattered all over Earl.
Do you love Earl or hate him?
I hate Earl.
Really?
Yeah.
Earl, how does that make you feel?
I'm hurt. I really am.
All right, you've heard Earl.
Oh, I feel so bad.
He has every right to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to.
Do
give
I
you,
gossip, man?
I didn't want to give you a breaking news segment.
Yeah.
But Earl was talking to himself, and I noticed that when I said, "What's wrong?" he said, "He always interrupts me when I'm trying to do my math."
Whoa!
That's a big pile of horseshit.
Meaning Fez
That's horseshit.
Really?
Horseshit.
Horseshit.
That is horseshit.
Why you are not doing
That is classic horseshit.
Why are you on?
You are lying through your ass.
Step by step. What are you
lying
doing?
through your ass.
Step by step. What are you doing math?
I was doing math.
Did you say
you're
he
lying through
always
your ass?
interrupts me?
Horseshit.
Did you say
that
he
is
always,
horseshit, Dave?
Did you say he always interrupts
Absolute
me?
horseshit.
Did you say he always interrupts me?
No, Dave, that is horseshit.
Well, answer him.
He's not answering the questions, Ron.
Do you always say that or no?
Do I always say what?
Were you doing math in the producer studio? Yeah, answer that, please.
Yes, I was doing math
After
in the
you
studio.
did that, I said, "What's wrong?" You said he always interrupts me, and I can't finish adding these things up. Did you say that?
I said that, but not about him. Not about him.
Who are you saying it about?
Not about him. That is horseshit. Board gossip.
Why don't you
man.
come in and get chin to chin with him, Earl?
Let's see.
Come
I'm
in
going
and
to
get chin to
no,
chin.
that's horseshit.
Come in and get
Let's
chin
see.
to chin.
Let's see.
Come in and get chin to chin if you really mean it.
Let's see. The only people in the room were Ookie Cookie, Eastside Dave, and Fez
All
Watson.
right, here comes Earl. Into the
horseshit.
studio.
You're lying.
That is horseshit.
You said
That's it. Put your finger right in his face,
Did you
Earl.
horse
Don't
shit?
take it.
Yes or no?
Horseshit.
Did yes or no?
Horse fucking
Did
shit.
you yes or no say that about Fez?
No, I did not. That's
Why
horseshit.
does he always interrupt me? Is what you said about him? Why?
I said they.
You
Keyword.
said
You're
why.
getting selective fucking
You said,
hearing.
why does he always interrupt me? And I said, who? You said Fez.
I did not say that.
Did you say Fez?
No, I did not.
What are you talking about? Ookie Cookie then?
You're going to let him put his face in your face
That's
like that?
horseshit.
Are you going to let him put your face in his face like that, Earl?
No, I put
Give
the
him a
finger in.
shove.
What are
Give
you
him a
talking
shove.
about? Ookie Cookie
Don't
then?
take his shit. Give him a shove, Earl.
Do the
right thing.
I'm going to be wrong.
Just
but
give
that's
him a
horseshit.
shove.
If
Shove
you-
his face.
Don't you lay a
Just give
finger
me-
on Board Gossip Man. I swear to God.
Shove Board Gossip Man out of your face.
You know,
Push him out of your way, Earl.
Right in the mouth.
I will be taking you to litigation, sir. I know one thing. Board Gossip Man knows lawyers.
So you're what? I don't have anything.
Oh, no, now he's giggling. Now he's giggling.
Yeah, so I guess it wasn't horseshit.
Yeah.
As we heard screamed 50 times.
No, that is complete horseshit.
I'm sorry I interrupted your simple arithmetic.
No, Fez.
He was doing his
No.
gazintas. He was
Not
trying to
at
find
all.
out how many times 2 gazenta 10. Earl, come to me. It's 5. You don't have to sit there doing the gazintas all day.
Were you talking about Ookie Cookie?
Oh, jeez.
Just answer the
Earl
question.
ain't going to take that.
Don't you?
You
Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me, sir. Don't you ever touch Board Gossip Man. He knows it's the truth now. He's not even looking at Fez in the eye.
I'll look him square in the eye.
He already said that
it was
he
not
hates
directed
you.
at
Earl already said
I
Fez
don't
hates
hate you at all.
No, Fez said he hates you.
And that pains my heart, Fez. That really does. It pains my heart.
Tell him how you
Breaks
feel.
my
Earl.
heart.
Tell him how you feel.
I love the guy. How can you not love Fez?
How could he hate you?
I mean, I let him down. And that's the bottom line. I let him down. Don't want to do it, but I did. And that bothers me that I let him down.
What song would best describe the way you feel about Fez? What song? Would it be Ookie Cookie?
No, it would not be Ookie
What would it be then?
Oh, Ookie. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, jeez.
Ookie Cookie. Dun, 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 dun.
What song best describes?
Fez has got. You just
Would it
gotta,
be Fuck the White Man?
It would not be Fuck the White Man. I'm trying to
nice, Earl.
Would it be I Work for a Gay Guy? Is that a song?
No,
That I
it would
know?
not be. There's something that just. I mean, I can't even measure how big this guy's heart is.
How about his balls?
I can't think. Well, I'm the one.
Could you think you get them in each hand? Palm both of them?
He'll never get the pleasure.
What's the song, Earl?
Just I don't know, just off the top of my head, like any Petty song, like just has that describes. I don't know, like a.
What it would be, Loser?
No, not even the
Nice,
Losers.
Earl.
Free Falling.
Even the
Free
Losers host a show sometime. Free Falling, that's your
Song about mental instability.
southern
Some friend.
accent, like some dumb hayseed who's fucking in a drunk tank in Atlanta.
I won't back
What
down.
would it be? I don't have to live like a refugee like you, Fez? You don't have to live like a refugee over on Roosevelt Island? Is that it?
No, it wouldn't be it.
What fucking song is
Like I
this?
won't back down because because the guy
always backs down to you.
It's about standing up to someone.
No, but he's always standing up for what he believes in.
When?
Since when?
It's your dedication song to Fez.
You won't back down from him.
That's the point.
I thought you meant describing Fez. I'm just so worked up for freaking board gossip bullshit.
Does Petty have a song called Harry Back? That the song?
Bet you wish he does, Earl.
Oh, I don't know how hairy your back is.
All right, we got to go here. We got a guest coming up, Fez.
That's right. Richard Zoglin will be in studio with us. His new book is Comedy at the Edge.
Do me a favor and don't have me talk to him, because the last thing I want to talk to is an author. Is there any way we can get out of this? Or is that him fucking standing right there?
That's him coming
looking in the window.
Yeah, that's him coming in.
What an idiot. All right. We'll be back and we'll talk. What is it? Comedy
at the Edge by Richard Zoglin.
I actually read this book. It's very good. It's very, very good. Right back, Ron and Fez Show.
Ronnie, Fezzy, The Ron and Fez Show, XM 202.
Richard Zoglin is in the studio with us. Brand new book he just put out called Comedy at the Edge, How Stand-Up in the 1970s Changed America. Richard, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
So many times people will write about how music changed society, even movies changed society. Right. This is the first time I saw a book that said stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that's
society.
exactly why I wrote it. I thought that, the whole 60s revolution with the counterculture, all the changes that happened in the 60s and 70s, everybody talks about rock music and the political changes and all that, but stand-up comedy kind of never got the respect as a kind of game changer that it was. I think the stand-up comics of the late 60s, following in the path of Lenny Bruce, guys like Carlin and Pryor and Robert Klein and others just sort of expressed that whole ethos of the counterculture.
And that actually brings that into everybody's lifestyle, that people will pick up on some of that, almost
Sure.
if it's kind of a modern philosophy.
Yeah, I think, you don't realize when you think about it, what's all the things that we think of as that sort of 60s mentality? Anti-establishment, suspicious of authority, freedom of speech, and, and drugs and sex, a little, more freedom of lifestyle. And also calling into question the old values of the 50s. Well, that was all the things that the stand-up comedians were talking about. So I think they helped kind of solidify that kind of point of view and, sort of helped affect the changes that were happening.
And you have a couple of comedians as being the jumping off point, kind of the fathers of the revolution that took place, the comedy boom of the 80s that, took comedy all throughout the suburbs. And then, but also a couple of comedy clubs in New York and on the West Coast.
Yeah, definitely. The Improv was the first comedy club in America, a club that started in the mid-'60s, actually, as a place just for showbiz people to hang out and just perform for each other, just in a real casual kind of setting. Turned out to be a place where stand-up comedians started hanging out, found it was a great place to sort of try out new material, no pressure, an audience of kind of insiders. It was a really good place to work. And it started to catch on. Then in 1972, a place called Catch a Rising Star opened in New York, and that really became a hot spot, just as big as some of the hot discos of the era, Studio 54 or whatever. Then in the West Coast, the same thing happened out there. The Comedy Store started up, run by Mitzi Shore, and another branch of the Improv. So you had sort of two big comedy stores on the West Coast, two big comedy clubs on the West Coast, and two on the East Coast, and later a third. And that was the place where all kind of the breeding ground for all the young comics, place where they could really get, perfect their craft. And that was the really launching pad for, I think the big comedy boom of the 80s.
Yeah, I think young comics probably don't even understand that now, because now you try to get, good before you go to New York or L.A. You're working your stuff out in Indiana. But there you literally had to get in a car and travel and live just to be a comic and working for free.
Right, yeah. Well, in New York, New York was the center. It was funny because at first New York was the center for young comics to get started. They would come from all Midwest, wherever. Then they all started moving west because Johnny Carson was out.
Right.
When Johnny Carson in 1972 moved the Tonight Show out to the West Coast. Then every comedian realized they had to get their Carson shot, their gig on the Tonight Show. So they started moving out west, and that was also where all the work was in terms of acting, sitcoms, and that sort of thing.
And, I've talked to a lot of those comics before, and when you did the Carson Show, we don't even have anything to compare it to now. If you did the Carson Show and you hit, you would have a real career after that. David Brenner, his career came off up to just really the first booking.
Yeah. The Tonight Show was such a big deal, and every comedian has his story about doing the Tonight Show for the first time. So much pressure. There were guys that, launched their career. Freddie Prinze went on the Tonight Show, was a huge success. Carson loved him, brought him over to the desk. And that was a big thing. If Carson brought you over to the desk to talk,
sure,
rather than just doing your stand-up routine and leaving. So he really anointed Freddie Prinze. He was very big on some of the Brenner he was very big on, but he was also really good with some of the kind of edgier comics of the time, like Carlin. He gave Carlin a lot of exposure. He gave Robert Klein a lot. Albert Brooks was a guy who was doing really wacky stuff that was not mainstream stuff, and Carson really liked him. So Carson was a really, a nice supporter of a lot of the new comedy.
Well, and again, I wonder, how many younger people remember Albert Brooks' stand-up, because he is known now for movies and that Big Fish cartoon. But his stand-up was so bizarre, and he never even worked out, I don't think. A lot of times he would just go and try out new material on The Tonight Show.
On The Tonight Show, right. He was, that's a good point, because I run into a lot of people, even in my generation, who know Albert Brooks' movies and everything. And did Albert Brooks do stand-up? Wow, when he did stand-up, there was nobody like him. He was... he was barely out of his teens, and he was doing the Tonight Show. Never did a club. Just started doing. And he would create these crazy bits that were basically parodies of showbiz. They were bad. He'd do a bad ventriloquist or a bad mime, and he it was self-parodying stuff, but it was very ahead of its time because a lot of people do that, went on and did that sort of thing. But he was great. He kept creating new bits. He would always come up with new ones, really wacky things, kept taking them on The Tonight Show, and they're gone now, because The Tonight Show erased all its tapes from NBC, let all those tapes get erased before 1972. So a lot of that stuff doesn't even exist anymore, except in the memory of the people who were big Albert Brooks fans at the time.
And the fearlessness, I mean, you'd have to be a young person to not even understand. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he probably had no idea what a big deal it was.
Yeah.
What he was doing probably helped.
He was just doing stuff for his friends, in his living room, and he would rehearse them for the bathroom mirror, and then maybe show them to one person, and then he'd go on The Tonight Show. It was unbelievable.
Who were some of the other big comics of the 70s that got this boom going?
Well, I think after it was Robert Klein was a big influence on a lot of people. He's he's still around today, not considered a particularly edgy comic. He's a little older, obviously, but he was the guy. He was the first guy who was really, after Carlin, who was a guy who had been a short-haired comedian and then sort of changed and grew his hair long and became the sort of voice of the counterculture. Then Robert Klein came along, and he didn't have to change. He was a kind of long-haired, hip guy, college-educated, smart, liberal, radical, but he was really the voice for a lot of the younger comics. He was the guy they looked to. Said, "Wow, he sounds like me. He sounds like I can do that." Then it was, during the 70s, I'll tell you, a big guy on the West Coast, of course, was Robin Williams.
Right.
And Robin was important, because he was an unbelievable performer. Nobody had ever seen anything like that kind of free associating stuff. He would throw everything in, impressions, characters. He would jump out into the audience. He was just uncontrollable. He was also a guy who just loved performing so much. And someone said to me that I would credit that big comedy boom, the comedy club boom of the 80s. I would credit Robin Williams with a lot of that. He was almost like a Johnny Appleseed. He would go around the country. When he was big enough, he was Mork and Mindy's star. He was doing concerts, and he would pack the house. But he loved performing so much, after the concerts, he would just go out into the whatever town he was in and go to the local comedy club, drop in unannounced. Well, you can imagine, Robin Williams comes to your town. So many comedy clubs just have that picture on the wall the night that Robin Williams came visiting. And that was a big thing. Then, people started going to comedy clubs just on the chance that maybe a Robin Williams might come in. So I think he was a big inspiration, to the boom.
And he was also, the thing is, like you said, he took his act to Mork and Mindy, and that's when most people found out about him.
Right.
But then he kept going with it, where a lot of guys, they would use their stand-up, get the sitcom, and then just become a sitcom.
Yeah,
star
I think that's
from that
what
point on.
happened later, more in the 80s, when they discovered, after The Cosby Show hit, sitcom producers realized, boy, we can take these stand-up comedians and turn them into sitcom stars, and it really worked with Cosby and with Roseanne and some others. So then, the stand-up comedians started to say, look at the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow there was a sitcom, and they would start, I think they were crafting their material so that they would get spotted by the TV producers, and so stand-up was less important as an end in itself. It was more like a road to something else. Now, Robin Williams was a little unusual because he wasn't a successful he was just starting out as a stand-up when he got cast in Mork and Mindy, so he hadn't really developed. And I think the stardom came so fast and was so dazzling to him, and he experienced all the what happens when you get famous very fast.
Perks, the dark perks,
yeah. But he really, I think, realized he really wanted to do more stand-up, and so he continued after Mork, and then during Mork and afterwards went back to stand-up. I think he achieved his best stuff in those years right after Mork and Mindy.
Well, he also seemed like he had this huge hunger for applause, for laughter.
Yeah.
And it's the same stuff that fed into the darkness, I guess. Just give me more, give me more.
Yeah. He was, he claims he never performed on coke. I don't know if I believe it, but, if ever there was a performer who looked like he was on coke, it was Robin. But, he was manic about it. He was, very different off stage. He's a very serious guy. He's not on. When he's not on, he's a serious guy.
When I talk to comedians, almost to a person, it comes down to Richard Pryor. No matter who they are, white guys, black guys, when I heard Richard Pryor, out of most of the people of the 70s, he was on another level. And I'm not even talking in terms of just success, but respect from other people.
I think Pryor, in terms of, he was such a great performer and actor. I mean, to create the characters that he did. He was a poet on stage. He was, the way he could create these scenes and characters, and it was. And the other thing he did was he took his comedy was so personal, so intense, and so painful almost. The way he took everything that happened in his life and he turned it into comedy. All the troubles, all the drugs, and the women, and the violence and arrests and heart attack and even burning himself up. It all became fodder for comedy. And guys said to me, Robin Williams said to me, I looked at Pryor and, man, I could not do that. I could not dig into myself the way that Richard Pryor did. So I think the comedians just had enormous amount of respect for that.
Yeah, there was an honesty level there that I'm not sure even existed in comedy before, because he didn't try to be hip. If you go back and look at a lot of the material, he's making fun of himself, or he's bringing up, gay experiences that he had as a young boy, or his awful childhood. So he didn't so much create a persona like a lot of guys did. He just brought up honesty.
Right. It was authentic. And even if he was politically incorrect sometimes, or he'd be anti-gay or whatever, it didn't bother you, because it was him.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
It wasn't a pose.
Yeah, that really is interesting, that he did a lot of things that you would be laughing and be thinking to yourself, I really disagree with that.
Right. Well, and some of the stuff about women too. I mean, he was boy. I mean, he treated them bad in real life and on stage too. But that was Richard Pryor, and boy.
I so remember some of those albums of him, like That Nigger's Crazy or Bicentennial Nigger, and I had nothing in common with his experiences. Yet, as this white kid in the suburbs, I just felt like, oh yeah, here's the guy, here's the spokesman for me. Yeah.
That Nigger's Crazy, man, that stuff, it was totally particular to his growing up in Peoria and a black, in the ghetto. But, you see, you could think of the equivalent kind of characters that he ran into and ran around with in your life. And there was just something so authentic about, the way he did it. I mean, you just believed every bit of it, and it had a universality. You could connect to it.
So when I look over this, I can't think of any comedian. Oh, by the way, we're talking about the new book, and if you're interested in stand-up comedy, you got to pick it up. It's Comedy at the Edge: How Stand-Up in the 1970s Changed America. Richard Zoglin's in here with us. But I said I've interviewed a lot of the comics of that era. I can't think of anyone who's had the consistency of a George Carlin, or was able to stay in theaters without being a big movie or TV star the way George Carlin is.
Absolutely, yeah. Carlin's really unique, because most of these guys, I think stand-up comedy generally has a kind of short shelf life as a career. Mm-hmm. Guys wanted to move on and do movies.
It's exhausting to be out on the road.
It's a guy like Steve Martin did it for a few years, and they said goodbye. That's it. And he moved on. But Carlin wanted to do movie in the beginning of his career. He thought he could be a movie star, but he wasn't. He did a couple movies, didn't work out. And he decided, stand-up's what I need to be doing, and that's what he did. And he's been a unique case almost of a guy who managed to keep refreshing himself. He would change, not just his big change when he grew his hair long and became a counterculture guy, but as the years went on, as he got older, he would kind of change his tack a little bit. He'd go more political, he'd go less political, he'd go darker. He's right now in a pretty dark phase. But man, he still packs those concerts. He still does almost a full year of touring. The guy's 70 years old.
And again, he's another guy that I don't know whether his audience agrees with a lot of the things that he says. Right. He's really let down with the United States of America, any kind of religion, and he's pretty upfront about it. And yet you'll look out and see people laughing against the stuff that would probably offend them if they heard it from most people.
That's right. I mean, he is talk about a verbal, a brilliant verbal comedian. I mean, it's just his writing is unbelievable. He's one of these comedians that doesn't improvise hardly at all on stage. He writes it all out, and it's so written. He's so brilliantly written, and you just hear it and you say, wow, he just has a way of phrasing things that just are so memorable.
It is kind of interesting too, like with the best stand-up comics, I don't think people understand how difficult it is to get there. So they almost feel like it's off the top of people's heads all the time.
Well, that's the illusion. That's the great thing about stand. You create that illusion of I'm just thinking of these things. Jerry Seinfeld told me his stories. He got inspired to do comedy because he was reading the book about Lenny Bruce, Ladies and Gentlemen, Lenny Bruce, and there was a line in there where Lenny's talking to his mother and says, "How'd the gig go last night?" And he says, "It was good, Mom. I did a new bit last night." And Jerry thought, "What?" You know, as a kid, he's thinking this. You mean they're not all new bits? You mean some of it's actually written? You could. So the illusion is to create is that you're doing it all off the top of your head. I think that's part of the art form.
Yeah, and most people, if they show up to the second show and see that the material's the same, they're shocked, as if you would ever be that way with a band.
Right.
You know,
that's right.
But no one expects.
That's why it's so hard for stand-up comedians to stay, fresh and relevant over a lot of years, because they can't repeat material that long, for very long. Some, you can get away with certain greatest hits, but you can't be like a band that goes out on greatest hits tours.
And the other real mystery about this is so much of the time the comedy really has to do with that moment, that age and time. I don't know that, like you brought up the Albert Brooks things, if we would think they were as funny as if a kid did them today, or even prior stuff might fall into, the Def Comedy Jam roar and not stick out as much.
Yeah, those guys, what they were doing when it was edgy back then, it's maybe not so edgy anymore. They broke ground, and a lot of guys have done the same thing since. Certainly Pryor, he was doing rough edge stuff back then, but today, most of the black comics, I think, are doing a version of Richard Pryor, and they're trying to be even edgier and rougher and kind of angrier. And
so do you think that even though after this initial thing in the 70s, the initial explosion, were you a little let down as you look into the comedy of the 80s and 90s? Did it become a little more corporate?
Yeah, I think it got very similar in the 80s and 90s. There were exceptions. There was Sam Kinison came along in the 80s, and Bill Hicks, and there were some really good guys. Today, I think the comedy clubs, then they died out pretty much, or a lot of them closed in the 90s. Now they're in a kind of a comeback. There's quite a few of them in New York, and I think there's somewhat of a comeback. And I hear some good comedians out there, but I don't think there's the breakthrough kind of comics there was back in the 70s.
So you almost need something new besides the format that we're in, maybe?
Yeah, that form had a great period, a great golden age period, I think, in the 70s, 60s and 70s. And today, I think, the cutting edge of comedy seems to be maybe elsewhere. It's like, more ensemble kind of stuff, groups and YouTube videos and, the internet sort of stuff. And I think more interesting, The Onion, whatever, seems to be kind of where it's happening in comedy, not so much stand-up.
So almost like a little kid thinks, how can I grow up to make these small films that tweak society rather than walk out on stage?
I guess you could say in the old days you could just go to your local comedy club and start doing stand-up. Now you can just, make your own film and put it on YouTube. Maybe that's a quicker way to get noticed.
And again, it's so different because I remember being a kid, a comedy album, the fact that you couldn't see the performers, you couldn't see the audience. It was so mysterious.
Yeah, there was.
Like, who are these people?
Right.
Where does this even take place?
Listening. And then, there were, you only had one, you had an album, it came out, it wasn't that long, 40 minutes of material maybe. You'd play it over and over again. It was just precious, that little bit. Now there's so much of it out there. I don't know. You can't.
Well, you also bring up Jerry Seinfeld, and he became so big. And almost from the beginning of his career, unlike some of these people who were out to stretch the bounds of comedy, he was attempting to get on the Tonight Show, make a good career, and appeal to just about everybody.
Yeah, I think he was the guy who sort of brought the stand-up revolution sort of to the mainstream. I think he did, a lot of what he did in comedy was what the new comedians were doing. Very personal stuff. Certainly, it's just that he was not edgy. He wasn't talking about politics. And people faulted him for that. And, certainly he's not one of the most adventurous comics. But A, he's a pretty darn good comic. And B, I think what you see, well, the great thing is about when you're seeing Seinfeld on set, it's Jerry Seinfeld. That's
right.
If all he worries about is doing his laundry and losing socks, well, yeah, that's the way he is. He's not making it up. He's not posing. He's really. So I think he created a character for himself. I mean, he is the character. He lives that character, and it's a really terrific, persona on stage. I think he's a really, really good comic.
But at the same time, even though you see this nice guy comic, you've got to be so relentless and ambitious to get where he was able to take it.
Seinfeld was notorious among his friends when he was in New York doing the clubs of being just relentless about writing every day, making time for himself to write new stuff every day. He worked on he was a student of comedy. He really worked on the stuff. He was very, competitive and just, relentless about his career. A hard driving guy, even though he's very laid back in his character.
You put together this book and you talked to so many comedians. Is there anybody that wouldn't talk to you, or anybody wish you had the
Oddly
opportunity?
enough, virtually all the major comedians who I consider the most important all talk to me, the ones who are still around. But probably the most important comedian who did not talk to me was Elaine Boozler.
Really?
Oddly enough. And she was important because she was probably the biggest woman comic of a period that didn't have that many of them. It really was a male time. There was Joan Rivers, who was earlier, and there were later comics in the 80s, Roseanne and Ellen DeGeneres, but they didn't come along to the 80s. In the 70s, we're sort of in the in-between period. The women's movement was in gear, and the women comedians, I think, were having a hard time finding a place for themselves. Elaine Boozler was very big and was the biggest sort of club comic of the time. Her career never really took off, and for whatever reason, she's maybe a little bitter about that.
Well, some of the comics that didn't get sitcoms that I've talked to have the bitterness that they don't have the historical mark. I know Brenner talked to me about the fact that he felt like he didn't get credit for observational comedy. Right. And a lot of those guys just feel like because that stuff happened in the moment and other people built on it and were able to take that into TV, and end up making a lot of money, that there is bitterness there.
Yeah, well, there's some resentment or envy, definitely. I mean, a guy like Robert Klein, who was really influential to a lot of these comics, saw a lot of these comics who were influenced by him go on and have bigger careers than he. Billy Crystal or Jay Leno at Seinfeld, you know. And, it bothers him a little bit.
But at least they seem to bring up Klein's name. I don't hear a lot of comics bringing up Brenner's name.
No, a few of them do.
Yeah.
A few of them do. And I think he was, I did think he was a little more white bread.
Right.
And maybe the comedians liked Klein's a little bit more edgy, hip kind of approach, whereas Brenner pretty early felt like a Vegas-y kind of comic, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he wasn't doing anything in a that was considered a dangerous vein. And you brought up about women. Still to this day, it's got to be 95% men doing comedy.
I think the percentage is a little lower. I think women certainly there are a few more of them than there were then.
Yeah.
The attitude certainly changed. I think, it's much more accepting of women back then. And a problem was, frankly, Johnny Carson was a problem for women. He was not real open to the sort of hip, assertive new women comics. He was much more comfortable with a Joan Rivers, who put herself down.
But isn't it almost like society itself? I mean, that fact that you got to take the room is almost like an alpha male. We don't teach our women that to take, our young daughters to do that. And women, to me, they always seem to be really funny writers, in the Dorothy Parker vein.
Yeah.
But never as comfortable. I mean, if you even went back to like Toady Fields, these were like kind of powerful women that could grab the room and hold on to it.
I mean, there are women who do it. I mean, Kathy Griffin and I think, certainly that whole that little group that started in the 80s, Rosie O'Donnell, Ellen DeGeneres, Paula Poundstone a little bit, there were some good women comics. So I think it's possible, but that's the kind of conventional wisdom is that, it's a kind of a male art form. You got to be aggressive and take the room. And then women who are too aggressive, I think the men kind of recoil a little bit, and maybe the women too.
Right. Interesting. All right, brand new book, Comedy at the Edge, Richard Zoglin. Richard, thanks so much for coming in. We
Okay.
appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
And we'll see you again.
Okay.
Yeah, go. Go ahead, Richard, go. Richard Zoglin and Vernon Reed, same day. What a show this is. Fezzy, I don't know what's happening since you become EP, but the guests are getting wackier every second it goes on. The seriousness of these guests, instead of just being like a regular person. Well, I'm here with the truth. Okay, fine. What about the rest of us? We got nothing? All right, getting ready to just about wrap this thing up. This Sunday night, Fez, going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a night of 100 podcasts with Best in Show, The Blowhard, Fred from Brooklyn, High Society, that's Bronx Johnny and Pepper Hicks, The Hideout with El Jefe and J-Dubs, and CT and Jiven.
My plan, keep an eye on this guy, Fred from Brooklyn. Fred from Brooklyn is going to shock the world, much like Cassius Clay did, Fezzy, with his knockout of Mr. Sonny Liston. When all Earl's dad's money was on Sonny Liston, Cassius Clay shocked the world.
Oh. My choice is Blowhard. I think he's going to do
I didn't ask you for your choice.
Oh, okay.
I didn't ask you for your choice at all. As a matter of fact, I really don't care what your choice is.
Okay.
I don't care if you had the choice of a new Pepsi generation right now. You have turned the Brooklyn boys against me. Don Stugatz has this thing. Earl's coming in with one wacky guest after another. Fez has finally said that he believes he's mentally ill today. I don't know what's happened to this team, but it cannot be good things.
It's a bizarre Friday.
What about I find out about Ookie Cookie? The fact that Pitsy and his friends grow up masturbating on pastry and then eating it. This is a strange day for me. This is a day I did not expect to have. Let me ask you, did you do any ass play with candy, or did you leave it as defiling a cookie?
We left it with the cookie, Ryan.
Strange group. I want you guys to take the 3-day weekend and think to yourselves, should I go through the wanted pages and find something else to do? Because radio does not seem to be the thing. Dave, do you think you're cut out for radio?
I still do, yeah.
You're wrong. Fez?
Yes.
Wrong. Earl?
Yes, I do.
Wrong. Bitsy?
Yes, I do.
Oddly enough, you're correct. You're the one that I believe in.
I didn't see that
I
coming.
believe in Ookie Cookie. Shit. You didn't see that one coming,
No,
did
I
you?
didn't. That was the usual suspects twist at the end.
That's what I like to do from time to time. And the other thing is, you've been dead this whole time. So that's my other swerve.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah. I just want to point out to the audience, this whole time, Dave has been dead.
Oh, fuck.
There's the swerve. He's not stupid and redheaded. He's really a ghost. Earl, you got a nice big bag for me? Like a nice big plastic bag?
We have one in the back.
Yeah, go get that big bag. Give it to my chick and make sure everything, you know what I mean? Like, make everything real nice for me. So everything I get is all nice and perfect, and I'm happy with everything. That's all I want. I want everything nice and tidy and perfect.
Doesn't seem like a lot to ask for.
Now, I'm going to go home this weekend and think about you guys and sit there with a shotgun in my mouth and try to think of one reason not to pull the trigger. That's how I'm going to spend the next 3 days. That's what it comes down to for me.
Well, I would just suggest don't.
And I don't want to see one of you at my funeral.
Oh, I'm coming.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Be used to my mom screaming, he did it. He's the reason. And trying to claw you.
I guess
Because I'm leaving behind an audio will that's pointing out all you bastards.
Vernon Reed, check him out tonight with the
Please.
Freeform Funky Freaks at Joe's Pub, 425 Lafayette Street in New York City. And Richard Zoglin's new book is available everywhere, Comedy at the Edge.
Earl, you know what I want you to bring up a phrase to Vernon?
Yes.
Lyrics. Just throw in the fucking phrase lyrics for him. Maybe he could use that. Well, that's about it for us. You got anything else you need to plug, Fezzy?
Nope, just happy President's Day, everybody.
What a general term. President's Day. Well, this year, I will be supporting Howard Taft. I can't speak for anyone else, but this will be a Taft year for me.
Yeah, give me a Coolidge.
Sunday, Night of 100 podcast. I'm done talking.
That's the Edge of my show. Donk.
Satellite on. Satellite's gone way up to Mars. Soon it'll be filled with parking cars. I watched it for a little while. I love to watch things on TV. Satellite of love. Satellite of love. Satellite of love. Satellite of. I've been told that you've been bold with Harry, Mark, and John. Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday through Thursday with Harry, Mark, and John. Satellite's gone up to the skies. Things like that drive me out of my mind. I watched it for a little while. I love to watch things on TV. Satellite of love. Satellite of love. Satellite of love. Satellite of. Satellite of love. Satellite of love. Satellite of love. Satellite
Ron Bennington, Fez Whatley, The Ron and Fez Show.
XM202.